What's going on, everybody? Oh man, we are early today, y'all. I wanted to go live when Candace goes live, and I'm not sure what time she really does it every day. So I just booked it early, and I wanted to show a couple videos while we wait. So come on in. Shout out to all of you all. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and thank you all so much for your support. Oh, I finally been able to get through some emails for the channel. Um, yeah, it's gonna be fun. And let's see, I was able to send out the emails to all the mods whose email addresses I could pull up that I could find, um and make sure that you guys at least have uh some way to communicate with each other in that main email. You don't have to reply or respond to that email if you don't want. You can just get the email addresses of the people you want to reach out to individually. Feel free to do that and go from there. Shout out to my mods. I appreciate you guys. I still have to set up S Files and I think was it S Files and Francisca on the second channel as mods. I'm going to do that shortly. But thank y'all so much for tuning in. It's been a day. Yeah, Yuck 2.0 wrote a song. I was like, this is so good. It's been a day today. And sometimes you just, me coming on here and chilling out with you all and being able to laugh at the cult members in the bots. It's just, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. You can't, as disgusted as we all are with Candace, you can't like let her have you in a anger state or anything, because her cult members would love to say, "Oh, you're just hating," and they can't define the word hate. But they would love to say all those things and still not address why she won't go out in person to say this stuff to El Kirk's face. But or post a text message sent to the FBI agent. All the things I've been saying that she should be posting up as evidence. Or just tell us who the shooter is. It's been 4 months, Candace. Tell us who the shooter is. Your cult members aren't going to urge you to do that because they enjoy the sensationalism. Deep down, they don't care. They don't care about that. But yeah, if you don't laugh, she'll give you a headache. And I'm not getting a headache over her. So I don't want you all to feel that way. So that's why I do Ami at the end. Ami did a new video. So we're going to check this out at the end of the live stream. Ami did a new video. Yay! Oh man, I have to fight the urge to not watch it unless I'm watching it with you all. But boy, it's hard. It's hard. But he did a new video of Candace Owens responding to herself. Oh, that's gonna be epic. But in the meantime, there's a couple videos I wanted to show you all while we're waiting for this helper to go live, honey. Candace, you need to pick a time and stick with it. Ain't that much homeschool in the world, girl. Ooh, let's see here. All right. So what was this for? Oh, let's see. Shout out to Candace sending me a video Cheer Denise. So there's a few videos we could check out until she goes live. But I definitely want to start with this video where you have an attorney speaking about defamation. Let's get some comments in. How y'all doing? I hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's good. Happy Friday. We made it, y'all. Ooh, thank God. Personally, I'm ready to sleep in. I've been waiting to sleep in. Yeah. So we made it here. We're finally here. We're finally at the weekend. Let's see here. Colleen, what's going on, honey? I missed the show last night, although I looked. Oh, yes. Check it out when you can. And then this weekend, I'm going to be breaking down the longer live streams and putting up the shorter videos and clips on the members only channel so that the members can have some fun and watch this content. And I guess, after, a good couple weeks or so, Then release some of them slowly out to the public because that's how that goes. But I want you guys to be able to enjoy some content, even if it's just the shorter videos and stuff, because everybody doesn't watch 8-hour live streams or 4-hour live streams. I get it. But I do want you all to be able to enjoy some of this stuff too. So let's see here. We're gonna be doing that, working on that this weekend. And I will have all weekend to just clip it up, trim up content, put it up in the members only, straight for you all. As a huge thank you for being a member of the Lady Luck Club. And I'm also going to be doing some live streams to the second channel. That's where we go over there and have, just looking at some trending, social stuff, what's going on social media, that type of stuff. That's what we do that at, over on the second channel. So there's a couple videos that I've seen that I want to go over on the second channel. And we're going to do that this weekend. I appreciate you guys. So let's get to this. We're not watching Ami yet. Not yet.
I'm Nick Brooks.
We are going to watch this young man. He has a small channel too, but he's got almost 5,000 views in one day. His name is Nick Brooks, and he's an attorney. And he's going to speak about Candace Owens defaming Erica Kirk, and of course the aspect of defamation per se. And so it's like saying contract implied, breach of contract implied, per se. It is more so of, if you're doing a lot of insinuations and you're claiming you're asking questions and you're really making allegations and accusations that could be debunked, even if, let's say, the law is not saying that it's straight out, flat out defamation, it still could be per se, because it's based on what the average person would take out of what you're saying. But he's going to explain this because I told you all, I listen to attorneys. So I've seen this video. I gave it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys check out Nick Brooks. I'll drop the video link in the chat. And this is, part of me personally, how I still, learn and stay abreast of the law. And any changes to laws, any case law that might, help to interpret laws, I keep up with it. I do. This is part of my research here. And I watch real attorneys that went to law school and they passed the bar so that I can be knowledgeable. Candace Owens is not a legal expert, but she don't trust none either. So, you can't make that up. But shout out to all of you all. CC, what's going on? Raph, how you doing? What's up? Hello, everyone. I know it's earlier, so a lot of you all will be able to catch the live. Hey, Fran, how you doing, honey? Oh man, what's going on? CC, Poetry Princess. Hello, everybody. Everybody speak to everybody. Hit the like button as you're coming in, but they're close. Hello, see, they're so close. I know. She always say that. Ain't no reply. What's going on, honey? Is it the Harry Potter one? Oh no, we saw that one last night or this morning. The one that we were checking out after her live is one where he's mocking her, responding to Erica Kirk. Oh my dear Lord. Yeah, it's Candace Owens' response to Erica Kirk. That's a brand new one he just did. So it's gonna be something else. The only way I can watch Candace, I know. Yeah, I can't watch Candace without you all. If I cannot watch with you all, I don't watch it. Even if I'm listening to Jay Witt when he's doing it, it's just so hard because it's like I want to scream in the mic. It's so hard. I don't know why Jay Witt won't do a joint live stream reaction with me. He's so silly. But we're gonna get Milk Bar in next week to do one. Yay! Because next week it'll be an easier week, because after that it'll be Christmas. So I'm gonna reach out to Milk Bar. He wants to do a live stream reaction to one of Candace's episodes, and we're gonna do it. So I'm gonna schedule it, see what's good for him next week, and we're gonna make that happen. I sure am. I'm excited. So we can have some fun with this. That way he can feel all of our pain. What's going on, Jennifer? I feel like Candace is days away from live streaming dancing in her kitchen with knives. So no. It's hot the kids, y'all. Beautiful says hi. What's going on, everybody? I'm just trying to get you guys comments up so everybody know you're here. What's going on, Dana? And this is the link to Nicholas. Oh, let's say Nick Brooks. So we're gonna go ahead and get started and try to get this in and maybe another video before she goes live. So let's get to it. Yeah, put a one in the chat when you can see and hear. Hit that like button. Let me know what number like you are. Drop it into the chat. We're gonna engage in the chat today. So I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Let's go.
A California attorney. Candace Owens is now implying that people close to Charlie Kirk, including his widow Erica Kirk and other conservative figures, were somehow tied to his assassination. If those implications are false, could that be defamation per se? Here's the big picture. Owens has been questioning the official account of Charlie Kirk's death, talking about setups, multiple people involved, and even foreign leaders like Emmanuel Macron, while publicly attacking some of Kirk's friends and allies. Fact checkers and commentators say she's fanning the idea that people around Kirk, including Erica, are not telling the truth about what happened. To be precise, some detailed fact checks argue that Owens has not so far literally said Erica Kirk helped murder Charlie, but that she has created a cloud of suspicion around Erica and others by highlighting rumors, private messages, and supposed financial timelines. Legally, that distinction between a clear and direct accusation and a pattern of suggestive insinuation matters a lot in a defamation case. Under U.S. law, accusing someone of a serious crime, like involvement in a murder or assassinated plot, is a classic example of defamation per se, if the statement is false and presented as fact. In those cases, the law often presumes damages to the person's reputation, because being branded a criminal is so obviously harmful that you don't need a spreadsheet of lost deals to prove it. Even with defamation per se, the plaintiff still has to show the basics, which are a false statement of fact about them, published to others, without privilege, with at least some negligence, and for public figures, with actual malice. Erica Kirk and most of the people Owens is talking about are public figures, so the standard isn't just that she was sloppy, it's whether she knew or seriously doubted what she was implying. Defendants in these cases often argue, I never said she did it, I was just asking questions. Well, courts look past the magic words and ask what a reasonable listener would take away. If the overall thrust of the broadcast is that a real person likely helped set up an assassination, a jury can find that to be a factual assertion, not a protected opinion or open-ended question. We're already seeing signs that this has crossed a line for some people. At least one conservative commentator has publicly said he's considering suing Owens for her insinuations that he had advanced knowledge of Kirk's murder. That's a reminder that even inside the same political camp, accusing someone of being tied to an assassination is not just drama, it's potential litigation. If Erica Kirk or another target sued, the complaint would likely string together clips, posts, and episodes to show a pattern, naming them, suggesting involvement in a setup, and encouraging the audience to see them as complicit in Charlie's death. The argument would be, she didn't need to use the words, you pulled the trigger. She told millions of people I was part of the murder plot, and that's reputationally lethal. For content creators and commentators, the lesson is simple. Criticize ideas and organizations all you want, but be very careful about implying that named individuals participated in crimes that you cannot prove. Do you think?
Thank you. See, this is it right here. I told you all that even if you want to sit here and say Brigitte Macron looks like a man to me, it's your opinion. No one cares. But when you say that someone aided or assisted in the murder of another human being, you are accusing them of being involved in a crime of any sort. Because it's a difference between what you can say as harassing versus a criminal matter. And because when you go to court for a crime, the burden is to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You must have evidence. Not one time will any criminal matter be heard in a court of law based on someone's opinion. Never will that happen. We don't care what Candace thinks or feels. It's about what she can produce. She's saying that the Macrons are trying to assassinate her. No evidence. But even the attempt of an assassination is a matter of criminality. And she wonders why they have her in court and they're suing her. I mean, if you all need to, I'm going to go back a little bit. Because I want this to be, especially for the Luxes here. We know what we, can and can't say generally in the comments. It's the candy ass cult members in the box that they just come in here and say all kinds of dumb things. But this is why When I say Turning Point USA should sue Candace Owens, is because she has literally said that they're involved in some cover up related to a crime. That's not a matter of her opinion. She would have to prove that if it's related to a crime. These things go over their heads because they don't understand the definition of the word crime either. Neither does Candace Owens.
Are you? I never said she did it. I was just asking questions.
Yeah, you're not asking no questions.
Without privilege, with at least some negligence, and for public figures with actual malice. Erica Kirk and most of the people Owens is talking about are public figures. So the standard isn't just that she was sloppy. It's whether she knew or seriously doubted what she was implying. Defendants in these cases often argue, I never said she did it. I was just asking questions. Well, courts look past the magic words and ask what a reasonable listener would take away. If the overall thrust of the broadcast is that a real person likely helped set up an assassination, a jury can find that to be a factual assertion, not a protected opinion or open-ended question. We're already seeing signs that this has crossed a line for some people. At least one conservative commentator has...
A jury can find that. I hope you heard this.
Sloppy. It's whether she knew or seriously doubted what she was implying. Defendants in these cases often argue, I never said she did it. I was just asking questions. Well, courts look past the magic words and ask what a reasonable listener would take away. If the overall thrust of the broadcast is that a real...
That's the point. Candace, I told you, heifer. You can go in there and play word salad if you want to and play semantics. That judge will not care. You go in there and piss that judge off talking about word salads and semantics. I didn't say stop lying. Is exactly what I said. They're going to hold you in contempt just for trying to even insult their intelligence. You're not above the rule of law, heifer. And we all know this because when it comes down to her in litigation matters, then she becomes a scared little punk. She don't want to go to court like this. But that's the only recourse to get her attention, to get her to stop, or to get her to understand that you're defaming someone when you're accusing them of being involved in any way in any crime. Even if it's just part of a cover-up conspiracy, it doesn't matter. It's a crime. It don't work the same way as you saying that you think Brigitte Macron looks like a man, even though she was born a woman, and you can't scientifically prove that either, because they don't understand scientific evidence or how to define science. You know, her and her cult base, they go back and they exchange this stuff all day. All she does is get this reiteration confirmation from her cult. But she won't take the time to read anything. And when someone sues her, she gets mad. And they see her right. Why would they sue her? Go find out the hard one. Go look up the definition of the word crime and defamation. Go find out the hard one. And these people act like they're being sued as well. No, it's Candace being sued.
Person likely helped set up an assassination, a jury can find that to be a factual assertion, not a protected opinion.
A factual assertion. Keep that in mind. They're gonna perceive that as a factual assertion. It's not an opinion. It's not a question, because you're purporting it to be a fact, and you're talking about a crime where you have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt.
Ended question. We're already seeing signs that this has crossed a line for some people. At least one conservative commentator has publicly said he's considering suing Owens for her insinuations that he had advanced knowledge of Kirk's murder. That's a reminder that even inside the same political camp, accusing someone of being tied to an assassination is not just drama, it's potential litigation. If Erica Kirk or another target sued, the complaint would likely string together clips, posts, and episodes to show a pattern, naming them, suggesting involvement in a setup, and encouraging the audience to see them as complicit in Charlie's death. The argument would be, she didn't need to use the words, you pulled the trigger. She told millions of people I was part of the murder plot, and that's reputationally lethal. For content creators and commentators, the lesson is simple. Criticize ideas and organizations all you want, but be very careful about implying that named individuals participated in crimes that you cannot prove. Do you think Owens crossed the line into defamation, or is this just protected commentary? Like this video, drop your take in the comments, and subscribe for more legal breakdowns of the wildest stories on the internet. Thank you very
That was awesome.
much.
There you go.
This unfortunate.
So that was Nick Brooks. He's an attorney, and let me see. Is she gone live yet? Because I have to keep looking. I refuse to subscribe to Candace Owens. No. All right. So this is that was Nick Brooks, and I suggest you guys go check it out. And he's reiterating the same things that I've been saying. I mean, to be honest, this information is available to the public, things that can be researched. I'm blessed to have my godmother in my life, but even if you don't know an attorney or a lawyer or even a judge, this is why people who do, claim to be a part of, let's see, the member of the press and media should have a basic understanding of the law, especially when it comes to defamation. There's no reason to be sensational if you have facts and evidence. It's just none. And Candace is completely sensational. So, um, I just reached out to Jay Witt asking him when did she go live, and he said she may or may not go live today, so I'm not sure. So she doesn't do a pre-recorded show on Fridays. They have a higher standard, yeah. But if you get a jury that says you're accusing someone of a crime, and that's a factual assertion, and you have no evidence on that. Now you're held liable for the damages of that, of that, what that factual assertion has created. Why not just, you know, post up evidence? If you got evidence, post it up. First of all, Candace, why not define the word evidence and then post up evidence? Because she doesn't know what it is. Let's see here. Don't play the music in the beginning, LLC. Which music? I'm going to have to take notes. That will be a good video. Oh yeah, that the video that I just played. This young man is an attorney, and I would believe an attorney any day over anything Candace Owens says. First of all, I don't believe anything Candace Owens says, but she finds out the hard way in court, and she never tells her court base what's actually going on when it comes to matters in court, because she knows that if there's any glimmer of her losing something, they'll start to believe her less and less and less, so they're going to be asking her a lot of questions. I don't do whataboutisms. I don't let any of them spin that stuff over here. They flood the comments and all this other stuff, copying and pasting, but I don't do whataboutisms. I don't entertain that. Candace Owens still won't even go over her motion to dismiss. So you can imagine if she gets sued for accusing someone of being involved in a crime, and this jury takes this as a factual assertion, she's going to lose any lawsuit because she won't have evidence to prove any of this factual assertion that the jury and the court is going to take whatever she said to be. She can claim it to be an opinion. They don't care. They're going to go based on what the law says, case law, and what precedence has already even established. And because she lacks the evidence, then that means that she's being deceptive with this. You can't say someone did something as a fact and then you don't produce evidence to support it. That helps the person suing you win the case, because their MO is going to be she lied. And if you have no evidence, then you're lying. And if the jury sees it as a factual assertion and you lied about someone committing a crime, you're going to be held liable. That's it. So she should be bankrupted if she keeps going at this rate. Yeah, that'll be. Let's get to it. I'm trying to get Francisca. If you could email me your actual YouTube channel tag, I'm trying to add you over on the second channel. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. I just need your actual tag, like the full YouTube thing, the link, if you don't mind. All right, y'all. Let's get to this next video. If Candace goes live, great. If not, then we're gonna play a couple of you sent me over the videos from Paramount Tactical where he talks about this, Candace being a cult member and all. And she is a cult leader. She acts like a cult leader. So we're gonna go over that video because I've been wanting to go over it for a minute either way. But let's get to this next one here. This is I don't think I've ever heard any of his videos, but it came up in my recommendation. And he played a lot more of her interviews she does on CBS. His name is Tal Oren, the traveling clack, CLATT. So this is the first video I've ever seen of his. He has, a huge following as well. He has 695 supporters. So I just saw the video came up in my recommendation, and he was able to play more of her. I think it was a CBS interview she's done, and I wanted to check it out with you all so you guys can see this, because I was like, oh, this is the first video I've seen where someone showed more of this CBS interview and some other clips. So this would be good to see. And then I guess it'll be a preview of what we're expecting to see tomorrow, to which I will be live streaming it. I will go live and live stream it. But we will be watching this full interview that she did with CBS, I think, tomorrow, of course. And then I do have two Gray Hughes videos where Tyler Robertson is captured on video with the weapon. And those videos have been sitting in my list for a couple weeks to check out. We're going to get to that since the hearings are starting to pick up. So I want to make sure that I time those videos to where you can kind of know what to expect to see as far as exhibits once the trial begins. And I haven't missed the mark yet. So I've been going over those motions and orders. So shout out to Tal Oran. If I'm saying his name wrong, I'm sorry. Y'all can correct me in the chat. And then I'm going to drop the video link in the chat as well. All right, put a one in the chat when you can see in here. Let's get to it.
Fortunate story with Erica Kirk, Candace Owens, and the entire idiocy behind the story is continuing. We've got a clip here from Will Kane interviewing Erica Kirk, I'm presuming about this story with Candace Owens. So let's take a look at this and see what they have to say. I'm Tal the Traveling Glad, your favorite white colonizer.
It's the conspiracies around Charlie's death. And, when this first happened, that I do this every day for a living and you're a part of this. Most of the ugliness and everything was coming from a predictable direction, the left. Now it's on the right. It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. And let me start here. You felt, I know you were asked, but you felt that now was your time to address it. Why?
Well, like I said earlier, I just want a very peaceful Christmas. I want my team to have a peaceful Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and mudsling. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to insult. Everyone's loved my husband, and we're all trying to figure out what happened. I have a little bit more insight because I'm a victim. So I get to see the autopsy report. I get to see all of the files that our prosecution, has pulled together. I trust that case. And so while everyone's trying to find...
Let me go back a little bit, because this is what I've been saying here.
I know you were asked
yesterday, or even the day before, with the video title. Candace is being a Grinch, a soulless Grinch. You got Christmas time coming up. Erica Kirk doesn't want to be worried about this crap that Candace is talking about. She's got two small kids that should be looking forward to the holidays. They should be excited about Christmas. However they celebrate it, they should be excited for it. They're kids. Don't take away their innocence. Don't take away their imagination. The magic and the spirit of Christmas, and however they hold that, don't take that from these kids. Let them be kids. Let them get ready for the Christmas season. And now she's got to sit here and be worried about this. You can tell it's written all over her face. You can tell that it's been bothering her for 4 months now? Candace can't tell us who the shooter is, though. This is not something she wants to be worried about. Erica just want to spend time with her family. It's crazy.
But you felt that now was your time to address it. Why?
Well, like I said earlier, I just want a very peaceful Christmas. I want my team to have a peaceful Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and mudsling. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to insult. Everyone's loved my husband, and we're all trying to figure out what happened.
Thank you, beautiful.
I have a little bit more
Hit the like
insight
button.
because
Y'all hit the like button.
I'm a victim. So I get to see the autopsy report.
And not just being the victim. She gets to see the autopsy report because she's next of kin. Because she's the spouse. I want to make sure that's clear. She gets to see the information, whatever they choose to tell her about the investigation, the autopsy, the medical records. She gets to see all of that because she is next of kin and she was his wife. Not simply being a victim, but because she was his wife and next of kin. So when Candace posted that EMR visit from the hospital onto social media, she was supposed to get Erica Kirk's consent because Erica Kirk would be the one that can consent to her deceased husband's medical information being disseminated to the public. We didn't need to know that. He went to a hospital. As a journalist, that's all I need to know. Did he go to a hospital? Great. I don't need to see the EMR of him being admitted into the ER. I don't need to see that. That tells me nothing. Unless you're going to tell me that Tyler Robinson walked into the hospital and tried to finish a job or something. Or there was a second shooter that walked into that hospital. Why would which hospital he went to be of any interest to me at all? All the jury is going to be concerned with is he went to the hospital. He had an autopsy done. That's it. We don't need to see the actual ER visit. And yet a hospital staff violated HIPAA privacy laws, sent that to Candace Owens via email, which is unsecured email. Stuff like that doesn't go outside of the actual email for the hospital. And then Candace Owens disseminated that information without consent from Erica Kirk. Yet another thing Candace could be legally liable for invasion of privacy. Dead or alive, you still have the right to privacy of your medical information. And your next of kin is the one that should be giving out consent. Candace didn't even ask. She just posted it up. That's the disgusting, deplorable behavior of Candace Owens. She doesn't care.
I get to see all of the files that our prosecution, has pulled together. I trust that case. And so while everyone's trying to find the ultimate explanation of digging deeper, that's one thing. You know, if you want to dig into his Discord chats or whatever that guy was involved in, I don't care. Have a heyday with that. Go right ahead. I'm not telling you to not ask questions. I just told you this. I ask questions literally daily.
Yes.
That's not what this is about. What this is about is the accusations that somehow Turning Point USA, my husband's team, my husband's security team, my husband's friends, my husband's employees are somehow, and myself, are somehow implicated in his murder. That is a totally different line. Totally different line. So of course I am going to stand up for that.
Yeah, because
that's a line in the sand. Because anyone who knew Charlie and knows us, that's sick. It's sick. But if you want to go after whatever you want to go after down that way of, great. But don't accuse us. Don't overanalyze. Like, honestly, Will, I have no idea how I would have reacted that day if I was there and I saw my husband be murdered. So how are you going to hyperanalyze those people that love my husband, that were with him, that second, thinking that their reaction meant somehow they were involved in it? This is a one-of-one where social media has just had a heyday, tearing things apart. And what's so sad is that I know all of those people that were there that day, and I know all of the people who are impacted by this that are within our close orbit. And it is painful to see on their face how exhausted they are to have to relive the trauma every single day. That's not fair. We are not robots.
How do they consume it, Erica? How does it, I mean, social media.
What's disturbing is Candace Owens will watch videos of him being shot over and over and over and over and over and over and over again, and admitted it herself that she's obsessed with it. You know, I'm just obsessed with this. I'm obsessed with what happened on the day he was shot. She could have been there in person. No one asked her, hey, why didn't you just go out there and support him while he was still touring campuses and stuff? Why you just take your behind out there and give him some support? She's the one that admits she watches those videos over and over and over and over and over again, trying to pick up every little thing, wants to identify every person out there as if, they don't have the right to keep their information confidential because they just went to an event. So now everybody is guilty simply because they went out there to support him. Now they have to risk being cyber harassed, bullied, doxxed, all because she wants to know who they are and they have nothing to do with anything. Just innocent bystanders.
How is it getting to you? Like, I know you said the chatter.
Well, the team tells me. I mean, I do not watch one thing. The team tells me if there's anything I need to know. I mean, honestly,
Right.
I say, unless I really need to know, tell me. But if I don't, please, I don't need to hear it. But that's, we
So
try to
they come
guard
in,
it that way.
Erica, and
But
they're like, they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's happening.
not all the time. Not all the time. Honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like, hey, did you know that somehow you're involved with Romanian orphans being sex trafficked? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it becomes laughable at some point.
No reply. You got, what do you mean? 35 people on what now? You said, oh boy, she's talking about me. I dug deep in his Discord, esteemed messages, found a wealth of info on these people. Thank you, Erica, for saying what I'm doing is okay. Hey, Stacey, how you doing, honey? No reply says there are about 35 people involved in the chat she's talking about. With some Romanian kids? Hey, Care Bears, how you doing? Francisca, I need your email tag. And Satiric, I finally got you added as a mod. You should see it now. Yay. I mean, the fact that we're talking about something going on yet again in another country is baffling to me. How do we... Good Lord. These stupid conspiracy theories, they be all over the place. They can't stay in the United States of America. Now we're in Romania.
And they're like, they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's happening.
Not all the time. Not all the time. Honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like, hey, did you know that somehow you're involved with Romanian orphans being sex trafficked? I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, it becomes laughable at some point. I mean, again, we have been lied to over and over again.
Oh. Okay.
So there is a baseline of understanding of, okay,
hey, Diane.
we're trying to seek the truth. I get that. Again, I'm not saying don't ask questions. But when you turn questions into accusations and you don't have proof and you're leaving things open-ended as if our team or someone involved with our team is...
Diane, I'm going to tell you, even if you show them the information in writing, they're still going to say, well, maybe Candace didn't mean to do it. They're going to keep making excuses for her as if she pays their bills. These are cult members. They literally deify her. They worship her like Jesus Christ. How do I know that? Because they put it in my chat. They treat her like God. She can't do no wrong to them. It's crazy.
Involved in it. And then you sit there and hyperanalyze my body movements, my tears, my frowns, my voice inflection, my faith, if it's not real or if it is real. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I have nothing to prove to you.
Where do you think
when
it's
you
coming
know
from,
the
Erica?
truth, I beg your pardon?
Where do you think it's coming from? Like,
send it to me, no reply.
That's for each individual person. Everyone has their own motive. I'm not going to assume what those motives are. Some, it might be, honestly, grief is weird. Everyone grieves differently. It's not linear, comes in waves. Everyone has their own personal relationship with Charlie in a way where even if you didn't even meet him, you have a personal relationship.
Where did you get this Romania stuff from? What? Why are we in Romania with these conspiracy theories here? Julianne said, I went to a fundraiser for Romanian kids in orphanages in the 90s, abandoned infants with not enough staff to pick them up and hold them. This causes irreparable harm in their development. Yeah. Thank you, Satiric. There you go. I appreciate you. I have no bills. Are you a bot? God. We're all over because Sir George was behind all this shit. And they had it started. Oh, man. That's funny, Sarah Kelly. But why is it that big? It affects people's lives how? I'm not understanding your question. Hopefully these documents will help. Yes, you guys can email it to, because I don't know how we ended up in Romania. This is the United States of America. He was shot in the state of Utah. Why are we in Romania? That's how, that's how conspiracy theories are. They go wild and free, and it all in another continent somewhere. Why? Are anyone bringing up something in Romania? And when they can't even pinpoint Erica Kirk having been in Romania. You know, Candace is the one that's friends with Andrew Tate here. Can't make this stop. Email it to me and I'll go over it because I have some other information I'm gonna do a little research on and see if I can reach out to someone for some confirmation on some stuff Candace is talking about. Who child, this MK Ultra thing. She just makes up stuff.
Relationship with him because you watched his videos or you went to a campus event. Then you get to the next tier where you actually did meet him. That's another personal layer. Then you get to the next tier where you were actually a friend. So I'm not going to sit here and question or hyperanalyze what someone's motives is. That's in their own heart, and that's what they have to deal with responding to the Lord. That I'm not going to go. You have to put your head down on your pillow at night, and whatever your decision is, that was.
Candace has no soul. She feels nothing. I would say, Erica Kirk, with all your responses, your attorney should be sitting right next to you. And be prepared to say that if we have to make sure that you respond to the Lord and to the law, we would make sure you respond to the law. Whatever happens between you and God is what happens between you and God. But you responding to the court of law, we can make that happen. This is why she needs to be responding through her attorney. Because Candace doesn't have a soul. She doesn't care. The cult members don't care. They just push out their narrative. They deify somebody that doesn't take care of them and pay their bills and have to feed them or buy them food. They don't care. If they're bots, then they're really insignificant. They don't care. Their agenda is to push out her narrative. Maybe she's paying them. Maybe she's not. Who knows?
Is your decision.
You know, because
what I do ask though is that you keep in mind, again, there is a difference between questions and accusations. And if you have accusations and you are going to go down that rabbit hole, provide proof. I don't care if you're a journalist or someone on X. If you say accusations, provide proof. You can't just throw stuff out there and then all of a sudden everyone thinks that somehow that's truth. It's not. And it's very hard to prove a negative. So if you say, well, I don't believe what they're saying, even though they're telling you the truth, well, how is the truth going to set you free if you don't believe the truth? So now you're just talking in circles. My only prayer for all of that.
Exactly. Let me sum that up. So Candace Owens was sent some exhibits from Brigitte Macron saying that I am born a woman. I gave birth 3 times. Here's some photos. Here's a birth announcement. Here's all these exhibits and documentation and proof. And Candace Owens still said, not good enough. Do this, do that. I want this. I want that. Like anyone gives a damn. Because no one gives a damn. You see, even with proof being provided to Candace Owens, she just didn't want to accept it because it doesn't feed into her dumb narrative that her cult members and the bots are feeding all over social media. Of course, they wouldn't be doing their job and following their marching orders if they weren't parroting her nonsense, as absurd as it is. But this is where we are. You can't win with them. That's the whole point. Nothing you say or do, no amount of evidence or proof of documentation you can show will have them satisfied at it. Conspiracy theories are not here in this reality on Earth. They're keyboard warriors behind a computer screen while their minds are gone to another planet. That's why trying to convince them of anything is futile. I don't care what cult members and bots think or feel, because there's nothing you can give to them to influence or change their mind about anything, and you can't change anybody's mind. They don't change my mind, and I'm not trying to change theirs. And as long as the cult members, as long as you all come in here understanding that, you enter at your own peril into the Lady Luck Club. As long as you understand, I don't care how you feel or what you think. You enter at your own peril. But you're not convincing me of anything. I don't owe you anything. And I'm not trying to change your mind on anything. I'm just going to have a laugh at you when I need to. It's no matter what you do, you end up talking in circles. So don't try to convince them of anything. Don't do it. They want to be stuck in La La Land, leave them out there. Then they find out the hard way when Candace starts getting hit with lawsuits. Yep. I hope those, cult members continue to pay those attorney's fees that they're paying when they send her those supers and stuff.
Is that all of us can remember that
Oh, man.
Charlie was a thought leader. He would not want his life and his legacy to revolve around his murder. He would want his life and legacy to revolve around helping deliver the youth vote, helping to build Turning Point USA, helping to make a difference on college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
That is what I pray we focus on. The justice will be served, and trust me, it will. And again, you can have questions.
I'm going to ask
Please
you one.
honor my husband.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you one last question on this. And
Mhm.
I want you to know, and I want everybody listening to know, I'm trying to ask you about this in the most respectful manner,
Oh, I
acknowledging.
know.
But I want you everybody to know
know.
this is the juggle. And it's not woe is me. It's like, I don't want you to have to talk about something that you don't want to talk about. I also don't want to be juvenile. So the juvenile part of this is the prurient digging in. And it's also doing something that I've done so far in this interview, which I haven't mentioned Candace Owens. I just didn't mention her name. And I didn't do that because I don't want to force you to talk about it if you don't want to. But everyone listening knows. And so after a while, I'm like, well, don't be juvenile. Everybody knows what you're talking about. And I'll be upfront. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know everything. I don't know all the accusations. It's impossible. It's impossible to keep up with. So in a lot of ways, I guess I am asking about something that we're not addressing. And I don't think that's fair to the audience. So I'm going to ask you this last question on this. And what I'm going to say is you have made a choice that has changed in the last week. Your team has been talking. And you have also said the bridge has been crossed, talking about people that you know. What I'm curious about, Erica, is going forward, will you and the team, do you think you will talk about it more? Do you think you will address all of the stuff? Because to your point, you said it, and I feel it. It's growing. It's not going away. The chatter, the theories, it's growing. It's not going away. So how do you think you'll address that going forward?
Yeah, the chatter will always be there, regardless. Well, if we spent all of our time going through every single accusation, we'd get nothing done at the office. Nothing. We were told
Exactly,
that
Shirley.
if we said stop, it would stop. And we said stop. And I'll say it again. Please stop.
There you go.
I mean, there she is. I don't really know how much more direct Erica could be about her intentions in this manner, which is to just leave her the fuck alone and to stop coming up with conspiracy theories about her husband and his untimely death.
Oh, dude, he yawning and stuff. I just wanted to play this portion here of Tal Oran. I don't know why I can't find that full Will Kane country. Is that on YouTube? So this isn't the CBS one. This is a whole different interview. Will Kane country. Let me see. So he has a separate YouTube channel. Let me see. Will Kane country. I thought that was the CBS one. Because she said stop a couple times, and it makes no sense. She has to keep saying it. Was that the full 9-minute video? I think it's like an hour. Okay, yeah. It's a 9-minute clip. So let me just take you all to his channel right quick. Let me save this so that you guys can, go to his channel if you want and check out some of his content over there. Let's see. Watch later. So this is
What
his
do
channel.
you think, Dave, of the fight?
Will Kane Country. And of course he did a live stream with Erica Kirk. It's about an hour, 17 minutes. And I think the portion that is I just played was like 9 minutes long. So I can Drop the video. Here we go.
It's the conspiracies around Charlie.
And then that way y'all can see it directly from here as well. Did he play this full? I wonder if he played the full
Charlie's death.
video.
And, when this first happened, you know that I do this every day for a living. And
Did he play the full
You can have
video?
questions. But that's, we
so
try to
they come
guard
in,
it that way.
Erica,
But
they're like, they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's happening.
not all the time. Not all the time. Sometimes honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like,
Okay, he
It's the
played a little bit more than
conspiracies
this. So
around
hold
Charlie's
on.
death. And, when this first happened, you know that I do this every day for a living, and you're a part of this. Most of the ugliness and everything was coming from a predictable direction, the left. Now
Mhm.
it's on the right. It's everywhere.
Mhm.
And let me start here. You felt, I know you were asked, but you felt that now was your time to address it. Why?
well, like I said earlier, I just want a very peaceful Christmas. I want my team to have a peaceful Christmas. I'm not going to sit here and mudsling. Like I said earlier, I'm not going to call names. I'm not going to insult. Everyone's loved my husband, and we're all trying to figure out what happened. I have a little bit more insight because I'm a victim. So I get to see the autopsy report. I get to see all of the files that our prosecution, has pulled together. I trust that case. And so while everyone's trying to find the ultimate explanation of digging deeper, that's one thing.
I
If
think
you want to dig
a lot of this
into
was played, but I
his
want to make
Discord
sure.
chats or whatever that guy was involved in, I don't care. Have a heyday with that. Go right ahead. I'm not telling you to not ask questions. I just told you this. I ask questions literally daily.
Yes.
That's not what this is about. What this is about.
Well, shout out to you, Jennifer. That's exactly what happened. She came on this Will Kane Country's channel, did an interview, and then Candace still went back and doubled down and said, no, she didn't say stop. She said stop lying. Like, no, you don't get to add on after the fact. You don't get to sit here and after Candace herself said, Erica Kirk has the power and capacity to tell me to shut up, stop, or be quiet. Then you turn around, you add stipulations to that. That's not gonna fly in court either. She finna find out the hard way on a lot of things because she keep effing around. Like that's the worst semantics is, but that's the worst thing you can do in court in front of a judge that went to law school is to go in there and play word salad and play semantics. That's the quickest way to insult them. They don't like that, especially when you don't have a concept of the law, Candace. We all know you didn't go to law school. You won't even show your 2 degrees of this so-called journalism and English degree you claim you get. You haven't even shown us that. You definitely have no aspect or understanding of the law. Going in there and insulting that judge, quickest way to get your ass contempt in court. She doesn't care. Candace doesn't care about any of this stuff. She has no soul. She doesn't care. Let's see. I'm just trying to make sure I get some of y'all's comments up. All right, cool. Let's get back to it.
Is the accusations that somehow Turning Point USA,
Thank you,
my
Satiric.
husband's team, my
Thank
husband's
you.
security team, my husband's friends, my husband's employees
Thank you.
are somehow, and
Satiric.
myself, are somehow implicated in his murder. That is a totally different line. Totally different line. So of course I am going to stand up for that. That's a line in the sand because anyone who knew
Thank you
Charlie
so much.
and knows us, that's sick. It's sick. But if you want to go after
Hey, Laura.
whatever you want to go after down that way of, great. But don't accuse us. Don't overanalyze. Like, honestly, Will, I have no idea how I would have reacted that day if I was there and I saw my husband be murdered.
Hit
So
the
how
like
are
button for
you
me.
going to hyperanalyze those people that love my husband, that were with him that second, thinking that their reaction meant somehow they were involved in it? This is a one of one where social media has just had a heyday, tearing
Yes.
things apart. And what's so sad is that I know all of those people.
This is what I mean right here. To the mods. When y'all see this copy and paste, same comment from different profiles like this, it's the same thing. You don't even have to engage it. We've been asked this a million times. If they don't trust the feds, then Candace Owens should not be waiting for the FBI to talk about anything regarding some fake assassination attempt.
that were there that day. And I know all of the people who are impacted by this that are with our close orbit. And it is painful to see on their face how exhausted they are to have to relive the trauma
Exactly,
every single
Heather.
day. That's not fair. We
How do
are
they-
not robots.
How do they consume it, Erica? How does it, I mean, social media, how is it getting to you? Like, I know you said the chatter.
Well, the team tells me, I mean, I do not watch one thing. The team tells me if there's anything I need to know. I mean, honestly,
Right.
I say, unless I really need to know, tell me, but if I don't, please, I don't need to hear it. But that's, you know, we
So
try to
they come
guard
in,
it that
Erica,
way.
and
But
they're like, they're saying this now. This is the current line. This is what's
Mm-hmm.
happening.
not all the time. It'll honestly, it might not even be from the team. I'll get a phone call from someone and be like, hey, did you know that somehow you're involved with Romanian orphans
Oh,
being
yeah, they
sex
went through
trafficked?
that
I'm
one.
like, you've got
Oh, I
to be
can't
kidding
believe
me.
that.
Like, it becomes laughable at some point. I mean, again, we have been lied to over and over again. So there is a baseline of understanding of, okay, we're trying to seek the truth. I get that. Again, I'm not saying don't ask questions, but when you turn questions into accusations and you don't have proof and you're leaving things open-ended as if our team or someone involved with our team is involved in it, and then you sit there and hyperanalyze my body movements, my tears, my frowns, my voice inflection, my faith, if it's not real or if it is real. I'm not going to waste my time with that. I have nothing to prove to you.
Where do you think
When
it's
you
coming
know
from,
the
Erica?
truth, I beg
Like,
your pardon?
Where do you think it's coming from? Like, what's the motivation?
Y'all
That's
subscribe
for
to
each
the channel, hit the
individual
like button.
person. Everyone has their own motive. I'm not going to assume what those motives are. Some, it might be, honestly, grief is weird. Everyone grieves differently. It's not linear. It comes in
Exactly, Tom.
waves. Everyone has their own personal relationship with Charlie in a way where even if you didn't even meet him, you have a personal relationship with him because you watched his videos or you went to a campus event. Then you get to the next tier where you actually did meet him. That's another personal layer. Then you get to the next tier where you were actually a friend. So I'm not going to sit here and question or hyperanalyze what someone's motives is. That's in their own heart, and that's what they have to deal with responding to the Lord. That I'm not going to go. You have to put your head down on your pillow at night, and whatever your decision is, that was your decision.
Mhm.
What I do ask, though, is that you keep in mind, again, there is a difference between questions and accusations. And if you have accusations and you are going to go down that rabbit hole, provide proof. I don't care if you're a journalist or someone on X. If you say accusations, provide proof. You can't just throw stuff out there.
If you can't, please don't send all caps. It's just because it comes off as yelling. Scotland, I honestly, I would rather people who are out here making all these conspiracies do exactly what you're saying. Let the case go through the court. They won't do that. They're sitting here talking about her and something in Romania with kids. Like, I agree too. If you're going to be conspiratorial and you don't want to believe the evidence that's already out there, because the evidence that have been presented to the court so far to justify the indictment is also going to be used in the murder trial, because that's how that works. That's just part of that criminal process and procedure in the court. So the video evidence of him, Tyler Robinson being at DQ and him walking down the street and all of that stuff that has already been seen to the public, is also going to be seen to the jury. So there is some evidence we've already seen. Him jumping off the balcony, all of this is some evidence we've already seen. Gray Hughes does a great job in the small clips I've been able to see of the videos where, he hones in on Tyler Robinson walking with the gun. Something that we all need to see, because you can expect to see this information being shown to the jury. So when it comes to evidence, when we talk about truth, we're talking about evidence. Truth is not based on your opinion. If you're calling it a fact, it's based on documentation and evidence. Your opinion's your opinion. Doesn't mean your opinion is always going to be the truth either. 1 + 1 is 2. That's a fact, because math. You can sit here and have an opinion that you think it might be 3, but doesn't make it true. It's just your opinion. 1 + 1 = 3 is your opinion, but that's not a fact. It's not truth. Truth has to be supported by something that makes it an accepted truth valid. Not just an opinion. An opinion alone, it is what it is. You could be loud and wrong. But that's the problem here. You're talking about a murder trial that is based on evidence having to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. It's not based on anyone's opinion or anyone's skewed definition of truth. It is based on facts, evidence, and law. That's it. And if people don't want to trust facts, evidence, and laws, or the definitions or concepts of those terms, then it doesn't matter what they believe to be as truth, because their so-called truth does not apply in a criminal trial. It's irrelevant when it comes to a criminal matter. The jury is not going to sit here and give a ruling based on what someone thinks that's true. The jury is going to deliberate and give a ruling based on the finding of fact, law, and evidence. That simple. So you can go in there talking about my truth all day. It's irrelevant. No one cares. Is it supported with a finding of fact, law, and evidence? If the answer is no, then it's not a truth. It's your opinion. Judge and jury won't care. I want the bad guy to go to jail for the rest of his life, at the very least. I don't want him to walk free because there's a hung jury now because of all this bias that's been thrown out there. It's combative with that. And Candace won't even read and understand why the prosecutors in the state of Utah are the ones that's actually spearheading the investigation in this case. And the FBI is assisting because she still doesn't understand jurisdiction. I know it's complex for her. That's what it is.
And then all of a sudden everyone thinks that somehow that's truth. It's not. And it's very hard to prove a negative. So if you say, well, I don't believe what they're saying, even though they're telling you the truth, well, how is the truth going to set you free if you don't believe the truth? So now you're just talking in circles. My only prayer for all of this is that all of us can remember that Charlie was a thought leader. He would not want his life and his legacy to revolve around his murder. He would want his life and legacy to revolve around helping deliver the youth vote, helping to build Turning Point USA, helping to make a difference on college campuses. Mm-hmm. That is what I pray we focus on. The justice will be served, and trust me, it will. And again, you can have questions, but please honor my husband.
Absolutely. I'm going to ask you one last question on this. And
that's not a historical.
I want you to know, and I want everybody listening to know.
Completely false.
I'm trying to ask you about this in the most respectful way.
Oh, I know.
But I want you everybody to know this is the juggle, and it's not woe is me. It's like I don't want you to have to talk about something that you don't want to.
And here's the thing: comments like this, I mean, this can completely be debunked with case law. It's not about the judge or jury. It's about the evidence being presented to the judge or jury. How does it apply to the law? How does it apply to the case? You have federal rules of criminal procedure that also affect how these hearings are conducted in the court of law. And if you don't understand laws or the interpretation of such, you go to case law. It is based on evidence. Or it wouldn't be a case as far as a criminal matter. We wouldn't be here if there was not sufficient evidence. No jury has so far filed these charges against Tyler Robinson. It's the evidence the investigators have gathered that was forwarded to the prosecutor that allowed them to bring forth charges and an indictment. That is based on the evidence. That's not based on the judge or the jury. The judge is not there to just make their own personal opinion and decision on something without evidence. That would immediately be seen as biased, and the defendant can get an appeal and win. If you don't understand how these matters are heard in the court of law, then just say that. But what you're saying is completely false, because so far the jury has not been selected yet. And Tyler Robinson is in jail because of the evidence and the indictment so far, not because of a jury. This is information that can be Googled, research. I encourage you all to do that.
Talk about. I also don't want to be juvenile. So the juvenile part of this is the prurient digging in, and it's also doing something that I've done so far in this interview, which I haven't mentioned Candace Owens. I just didn't mention her name. And I didn't do that because I don't want to force you to talk about it if you don't want to. But everyone listening knows. And so after a while, I'm like, well, don't be juvenile. Everybody knows what you're talking about. And I'll be upfront. I haven't kept up with it. I don't know everything. I don't know all the accusations. It's impossible. It's impossible to keep up with. So in a lot of ways, I guess I am asking about something that we're not addressing. And I don't think that's fair to the audience. So I'm going to ask you this last question on this. And what I'm going to say is you have made a choice that has changed in the last week. Your team has been talking.
Wow.
And you have also said that a bridge has been crossed, talking about people that you know. What I'm curious about, Erica, is going forward, will you and the team, do you think you will talk about it more? Do you think you will address all of the stuff? Because to your point, you said it, and I feel it. It's growing. It's not going away. You know, the chatter, the theories, it's growing. It's not going away. So how do you think you'll address that going forward?
Yeah, the chatter will always be there, regardless. Well, if we spent all of our time going through every single accusation, we'd get nothing done at the office.
Exactly.
Nothing. We were told
because now they were Romania.
If we said stop, they would stop. And we said stop. And I'll say it again. Please stop.
That's that. That's that right there. I mean, it's that simple. Leave her alone. I don't even think she's expecting anybody to like her or any of that. They just leave her alone. We have, so far, she hasn't started yet. So we have Cheer Denise, who gave her insight on this. I'm actually curious in this Tim
Hey, everybody,
video.
how's it going? So
this is from Artie Trolls. Shout out to Artie Trolls. He did a video covering Tim Pool saying that Candace hated Charlie Kirk. Candace, I don't know if you realize it's obvious to a lot of people that you definitely had some disdain towards him, because you wouldn't be sitting here going after his wife, his pastor, his company, his everything that he loved and cared for. You wouldn't be doing any of that if you cared a little bit. So I'm actually curious to see this video. And you guys make sure you check out Artie Trolls. He's funny. I actually enjoy his content. I am subscribed, so make sure you guys hit the like button and check him out over there. I can get one of the mods to drop his YouTube channel link, as well as Will Kane Country and Nick Brooks and Tal Oron. I know it's a lot of them. But so far, those are the content creator videos we covered. So while we're, if she goes live, we're just kind of waiting on her to do this. Because I did want to react in real time to Candace live and be able to comment in the chat, because all her bots will be over there. Yeah, for once we get to pick on them. So let's check this out. Put a 1 in the chat if you can see it in here. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button. Thank you all for tuning in. And hanging out with me while we wait for her to possibly go live if she does. Hit that like button for me. Let's get to it. Artie Trolls, take it away, bro.
Oh, Tim Pool has absolutely just blasted Candace Owens. He got a tip, apparently, that Candace Owens, just months before Charlie was unfortunately unalive, ended up talking to people about how much she did not like Charlie Kirk at all. And you know what? This tip is just as valid as any other tip Candace has received herself and is spewed online. So I don't want to hear it when people are like, oh, this is clearly a lie. How are you able to tell what is a lie and what is true when no evidence is presented whatsoever? Tim has put out evidence the exact same way Candace Owens has put out evidence.
Thank you, Francisca.
And you're going to see people defend Candace because they're leftists. They are absolutely diehard leftists. They're not nuanced whatsoever. They don't think for themselves. Yes, could what Tim be saying here be 100% fabricated? Yes. That's the same exact thing I'm putting towards Candace Owens as well. Everything she's saying could just be 100% fabricated because she's never provided proof. So for people to sit there and say that Tim Pool is lying, which we'll go over the comments down here in a second, is absolutely ridiculous because it's the exact same type of evidence that Candace has put out. Let's watch this. And before we do, guys, please give me a like or subscribe or both. That's all I ask for. I don't beg for money. I don't ask you to join memberships. I'm not doing any of that, So if you guys could, I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. Thank y'all so much. That's my one ask that I do.
Candace Owens.
I do want to say thank you all for the memberships. I appreciate that. Heather Rose is a new member. Thank you so much. Satiric gifted memberships. Thank you so much, Satiric, and for becoming a member. You guys are going to have fun this weekend. All of these long live streams are going to be chopped up and you guys will be able to enjoy them individually. But thank you so much for the memberships. It is a blessing. And I have my memberships because you all asked for it. And I appreciate you all. So how dare I not show my appreciation to my members by taking the time to chop up these longer live streams so you guys can have some shorter content to enjoy in the members only. So brace yourselves for that. It's coming hot and heavy. All right, y'all. Thank you so much. Let's get back to it.
Hated Charlie Kirk. And I was surprised to hear this, but I received a tip. Several prominent conservatives have confirmed to me and my crew that Candace Owens had been going around shortly before he died, within the months before his death, saying that she hated him. Now, I wonder if she really hated him. Maybe she was just scornful, second wife syndrome. Maybe she actually really loved him.
Now, here's the thing. Tim is claiming that he's hearing
Let's
this
get
from
the same
prominent
thing.
right-wing YouTubers, people in her
Say the
circle,
same thing.
not random people. He was probably genuinely able to verify exactly who. Probably could have been somebody like a actual justice warrior or something like that. I don't know. I have no clue who he would have actually asked. But it could be really genuinely anybody. Now, here's the thing. Here's the thing that's just so weird. I want you to understand who it is first that Candace Owens and, well, people, essentially Candace Owens group, who they are, okay? I wanted to show you guys this just real quick. It is, oh, God, where is it? I probably have it under replies. I do have it under replies. It's Marjorie Taylor Greene and Milo Yiannopoulos that I'm genuinely
what the
worried
heck
about
is
here.
going on with
Okay?
Marjorie Taylor
Because
Greene again?
let's see, where is it?
Oh, dear Lord.
Here it is. So Cat Turd ended up tweeting this out. Look at who Marjorie Taylor Greene is with. You know, I heart Palestinian liberation code pink. You know, and I said we know where she is.
Man, Marjorie Taylor Greene, let me tell y'all something. This is why you don't come in extreme. She came in a full-blown extremist, diehard, I love Trump, everything Trump, Trump is God, Trump. And then now look, it's almost embarrassing. And I'm not political at all. It's funny that, you know, cult members come in here accusing me of being a Democrat. I'm not political at all. See, this is why I have the blessed freedom of saying what I want to say in the Lady Luck Club. You come in your own peril. But when you come in and you're overly extreme with your political views, you don't give yourself wiggle room to be able to disagree or agree to something, regardless of what side you're on. Whether you're extreme conservative or even extreme liberal, it's not a good thing to be extreme. What the heck is going on with Marjorie Taylor Greene now? So she's no longer a Republican? Has she decided to become a Democrat? What the heck is going on with her?
Aligning. Look at her intern Milo and what he
She's
is
so
doing with
confusing.
Candace. You know what I mean? It's just, look at her. She came out and argued in favor of illegal immigrants because she owns a construction company where illegal immigrants come and give free labor for. You know what I mean? Or at least underpaid labor. And that's the type of people
makes
that
no
Candace
sense.
Owens is aligned with as well. And you can kind of understand where the rhinos are. The rhinos are much closer to Candace than they are closer to Tim Pool.
You
I
can't
give
make
him a
this
little
up.
bit more credit.
But when he chose Erica over her, she became resentful and angry, sour grapes, trying to find a reason why something was wrong with him.
I almost wonder, as we all know, let me pull it up on Grok here because this is very, very, very interesting to me. When did Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens have a falling out? And this was, I think it was 2018, but I want to make sure. It was 2017. Okay, that they kind of started having a bit of a falling out. Let's see here. Owens was hired by TPUSA. Okay, here it is. 2019, actually, to 2022. There we go. Owens increasingly promoted fringe theories, election fraud, stuff like that, which clashed with TPUSA's mainstream conservative focus. Kirk reportedly distanced himself to protect the organization's donor relationship, public image. So let me ask this. When did Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens unfollow each other on Twitter? What year was that? Because I wonder why specifically. Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens unfollowed each other on X, formerly Twitter, in May of 2024 amid
What?
escalating tension.
Okay. So, oh man, did y'all know this? They unfollowed each other in 2024. And yet you got people out here saying they were still best friends. You know, these are the same people that don't believe in anything here on earth in this reality. But this is something else. They unfollowed each other. And I have some info, shout out to Francisco, about why Candace Owens resigned from Turning Point USA. So she unfollowed him in 2024. She resigned in May 2019, saying she wanted to focus on her book, podcast, etc. Unofficial reasons was due to internal dissent. Wow. Candace made Hitler statements in late 2018. Hitler's nationalism would have been acceptable if it was just confined to Germany. TPUSA chapters called for her removal. So they called for her removal because she made comments about Hitler in 2018. And the Candace's comment, cult members and the bots don't give a damn about anything. But the cult members, for some reason, don't find this problematic. How much more hypocritical is it going to get? Because hypocritical is synonymous with lie. How much more hypocritical is it going to get when she's sitting here saying that what Hitler did would be acceptable if it was confined to Germany in 2018? And then Turning Point USA chapters called for her removal. She resigns in 2019, telling everybody that she wanted to focus on her book and podcast when it was based on internal dissent because they want her ass removed. Because she's sitting here saying that, Hitler's nationalism was okay if it was just in Germany. As if people living in Germany should have been subjected to that nonsense. He murdered people. The same way she doesn't like people being murdered in Gaza. Why would she be okay with people being murdered in Germany? It's the hypocrisy for me. Terms synonymous with lying. You can't make this up. So 5 years later, they unfollowed each other. Good grief.
Over Owens' increasingly controversial views on topics like Israel, Palestine, stuff like that, okay? So it was actually really, really recently when Candace Owens and Charlie Kirk started beefing with each other.
Oh, man.
Okay? They were having issues around 2019, and then TPUSA let her go. And then Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens really started getting into it with each other and unfollowed each other. Candace Owens also deleted every single Instagram photo of her with Charlie Kirk when this happened. You can go to her Instagram and look at it right now. Everything 2024 before, she deleted every photo with Charlie Kirk. That's why there's only photos of Charlie Kirk in 2025 on her Instagram page. This really happened, and people don't know about it. It's pretty wild. But
that's crazy.
Her and Charlie Kirk had a major falling out. And I almost wonder if this had anything to do with Charlie Kirk getting with another woman. I wonder if Candace Owens was coming on to Charlie and he just wasn't interested and she resented him for it. I don't know. But she seems bound, dead determined to get between Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, even though Charlie Kirk isn't even around anymore. Isn't that a little creepy?
And she chose a different life. I look at everything she's doing now. She's attacking Erica Kirk directly, a grieving widow who has to now deal with a life without a husband and a father for her children.
Right.
And the question is, why would Candace do this? Why would Candace accuse Turning Point staffers, Charlie Kirk's best friends, of being in on the plot to murder him or even attack his wife? If she really cared about Charlie as much as she claims, she'd want to protect his legacy. She'd want to create a better future, or at least help in whatever way she could.
You would think. I don't blame her necessarily for going down the conspiracy rabbit hole and being like, hey, why wasn't he protected better than this? What happened here? What happened there? I don't blame her for any of that whatsoever. What I blame her for is the finger pointing. I've been very consistent on this from day one. Very, very consistent. Okay? Candace Owens, it's okay for you to ask questions. What's not okay is for you to finger point and say, TPUSA did it. Mormon B cults did it. Israel did it. Ukraine did it. France did it. Trump did it. The FBI did it. Justin Bieber's handler did it. Britney Spears, whichever one, same person, apparently, maybe. I don't even know if they're the same person, to be honest. Calvary Church did it. What's his name did it? Rob McCoy and, all them. Just pointing fingers, to the point where she's gotten to Border Patrol, and Charlie Kirk's head of security is now guilty of taking his life. That's what she said. Harpole, what's his first name? Brian Harpole. Charlie Kirk's security. She said he is now in on it. It gets crazier and crazier, the amount of...
Yeah, I remember what that attorney said in the beginning. That's why I played it. Making these factual assertions. A jury would eat that up, and they would hold Candace Owens liable because it's that straightforward. If you're saying he's in on some criminal activity, you would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt. You would need evidence. No one cares about your opinion. Not when it comes to a criminal matter. Nope.
People she points the finger at. It's very, very messy. And it's supposed to be messy, I think. I genuinely
can't
think
make
it's
this
supposed to
stuff
be messy.
up.
I'm not sure why she's doing it per se. I don't know if it's to get money. I don't know if it's to destroy Charlie Kirk.
Oh, well, let her cult members say it. It's for views, likes, clicks, and for money because she's number one. She's rich. Even though she's not number one, but to them, she's number one. She's rich. She's comparable to Jesus Christ. It's a cult of personality. And she has more subscribers than I do because they don't have a problem reminding me of that every time they leave comments. So they confirm that she's doing this for views, clicks, likes, and money. Candace, your own cult members are telling on you.
Legacy. I don't know if it's just to hurt Charlie Kirk's wife. I have no
Of
idea
course it is.
specifically why she's doing it. Is there a chance she could be correct that something happened? Yes. But is there a chance that every single person she's pointed the finger at is involved? Absolutely not. No, there's not even a chance.
So we go back to her deleting everything off of Instagram here for a second.
Kirk and Candace Owens really started getting into it with each other and unfollowed each other. Candace Owens also deleted every single Instagram photo of her with Charlie Kirk when this happened. You can go to her Instagram and look at it right now.
What would make you what would lead her to do this and then think that there's supposed to be some sort of reunion? Not the idea of her having some sort of reunion with him on stage is less likely more now when she's doing something as drastic as this. So between her leaving Turning Point in 2019, being forced to resign because they wanted her ass gone, and let me be clear on this. I saw comments saying I need to do some research on Hitler. No, I don't. I could care less about Hitler. Why would I need to do any historical research on him? He's an evil being from hell. There's nothing else I need to do about him. I have no interest in Hitler. That's just bottom line with that. I would rather read the Bible and learn more about Jesus Christ. Hitler is of no interest to me. None. So you have someone to sit here and remove all this stuff between her leaving Turning Point 5 years in May 2024. And when did she go on this last tour? That Amfest in 2024 was like July, something like that, April. I'm assuming it's the appearance she made, the last appearance she made with Amfest. Was it before or after she did all this deletion? This sat up here. Think about this. From the time she left in 2019 and was forced out until 2024 when she did all of this. That's 5 years where all those photos sat there on her Instagram. And then all of a sudden, they get removed and deleted like a thief in the night. Out of nowhere. All of a sudden. They're just gone. What could have happened that could have led to her just doing this out of nowhere? That's what. And then she's saying that they were such best friends here. Remember when she started saying that anyone who supported Israel was cursed? It was in mid 2024. So when was the tour she did with him when she was last on stage? Was that June or July 2024? When did that happen? I'm not deleting anything. I don't understand what you're talking about. I'm not deleting any. I am not deleting anything. Did you use a racial slur? Because we don't have to do that. As a public service announcement, once again, to the cult members and to the bots. Just as much as you think you have freedom of speech, we have freedom to read your dumb comments. I don't have to. It's my prerogative. Now, I haven't deleted your comments because I'm obviously reading one. But if you're using racial slurs, if you're being blasphemous, because we don't compare mere mortals to Jesus Christ here. Candace is not God. And we don't sit and say derogatory, defamatory things like that. Because if Turning Point USA wants to sue, I don't need them wanting to use my chat and videos, try to use evidence, because you're saying things that are just completely false. We don't do that. Give your opinion and ask questions. But I haven't deleted anything if I'm reading your comment. So I don't know what's going on. Okay, so what, tell me when she was last on stage with Charlie? Yeah, this is a good one. June 2024. Thank you, Happy Face. So she did all of this in early 2024, May 2024. And this doesn't speak on her last stage appearance with him. So my question would be, did he know that she unfollowed him in May of 2024 when she went out on stage with him in June of 2024? Just the next month, she went out on stage. She had already deleted everything by then? Was he even aware? Or did she do this trying to get his attention? Because think about this. Why would she do this 5 years after she left Turning Point? I'm just, even with her saying what she said about Israel, she had been saying it, right? She had said what she said about Hitler. She still had these photos up for 5 years. All this stuff sat on her page for 5 whole years. After all the other comments that she made. And all of a sudden, May 2024, she deletes everything. June 2024, she's on stage with him. Why would he still invite her? And somehow he didn't know that she deleted all those pictures. This is weird. It's actually either angry or faking it. Because somehow it's like extreme with her. Nothing is balanced about Candace Owens. Because we all know that, Candace, you're not balanced at all, girl. But it's like one extreme or the other. And it's so erratic and irrational. There's no logic in that. So why go out on tour with him June 2024 if you deleted photos and posts and anything on your Instagram May of 2024? It's weird. I'm trying to make sense of that. So he didn't know she did this, or did she do this thinking that it would get his attention because she probably wanted to go on this tour with him or to speak at AmFest? Maybe she did that to get his attention. Now, I'm not saying anything to the comments she made or anything like that, because like I said, when she left Turning Point in 2019, she didn't delete all this stuff right away then. She waited 5 years later. Maybe she did this because she acts out of extremism to get his attention to go speak at AmFest or to go speak at whatever event it was in June 2024. My bad. June 2024. Whatever was in June 2024. When was the last time they were on stage? She said she spoke at some tour or something just last year. What month was that last year? Was it June? May? April? When was it? Okay, he wasn't with her when she did that. I deleted a comment where somebody's calling people Nazis. We don't do that shit. So he wasn't with her when she went to Turning Point to speak at an event? Maybe is that why she deleted everything? Because she found out he wasn't going to be there? You can't make this up. Wait a minute. So she went and spoke at that event. Charlie was not with. I'm seeing it. Okay. So he wasn't even there when she went to speak in 2024 at some event with Turning Point. No, he was not. So maybe that's why she deleted all these photos, because she found out he wasn't going to be there. you got to ask, like, something prompted her to do this out of nowhere. Even with her saying the raunchy comments she's been saying, even if he didn't agree to it, something just prompted her to do this out of nowhere. So that explains it even more. It's plausible that she acted so extreme and deleted everything because she found out he wasn't even going to be there. Like, her chance to be able to spend time with him, she got robbed. She thought they were going out on a dinner date. He said, "Girl, I ain't even gonna be there." That's what I'm getting the sense of. Yeah, that's what it sounds. That sounds about right to me. So, Candace, you went here and deleted all this stuff because you found out that you about to go out and speak at an event dealing with Turning Point, and then you find out Charlie Kirk is not even going to be there. Why else would she do this? She deleted all the photos. They're still friends. He bought Blexit. She couldn't keep up her photos of him. That's what I'm saying. Candace Owens has last appeared at Turning Point USA America Fest in 2022. Okay, so 2024 was something else. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't. Yeah, listen, y'all know y'all can correct me if I'm wrong with that. Whatever the event was in 2024, she said she was at some Turning Point event speaking in 2024. These comments are going fast. No, of course, I land on a comment where it's saying I'm not reading my comments. You can't make this stuff up. There's no pleasing in these people. She said she went and did an event in 2024. Gotcha. He wasn't there. Got it. So something just prompted her to delete the stuff, even if it was something about a Blexit. Why would Blexit cause her when she doesn't even want to stop, be quiet, or shut up when Erica Kirk says so? But somehow Blexit can get her to remove photos of him and her and Charlie Kirk on Instagram because she fake. It was because of Angela Gaza. She told everyone she hated Charlie. So she did say that. That's what he's saying. That's what Tim Pool is saying. That she was telling people she hated Charlie Kirk. Okay, here we go. Yeah, that sounds about right. You know, because just all the series of events that's happening, Candace is doing things that makes no sense to the average person. It's like, that's so irrational. But that makes sense. If you talking about you hate someone, once again, she's doing this out of her feelings and emotions because she hates Charlie Kirk for what? He didn't agree with her. He didn't take her side. Like, he owes her that. She's being a spoiled brat, throwing a tantrum more than likely. You can't make this stuff up.
Everything.
What is so right?
2024 before, she deleted every photo with Charlie Kirk. That's why there's only photos of Charlie Kirk in 2025 on her Instagram page. This really happened, and people don't know about it. It's pretty wild. But her and Charlie Kirk had a major falling out. And I almost wonder if this had anything to do with Charlie Kirk getting with another woman. I wonder if Candace Owens was coming on to Charlie and he just wasn't interested and she resented him for it. I don't know. But she seems bound, dead determined to get between Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens, even though Charlie Kirk isn't even around anymore. Isn't that a little creepy?
And she chose a different life. I look at everything she's doing now. She's attacking Erica Kirk directly, a grieving widow who has to now deal with a life without a husband and a father for her children.
Right.
And the question is, why would Candace do this? Why would Candace accuse Turning Point staffers, Charlie Kirk's best friends, of being in on the plot to murder him or even attack his wife? If she really cared about Charlie as much as she claims, she'd want to protect his legacy. She'd want to create a better future, or at least help in whatever way she could.
You would think. I don't blame her necessarily for going down the conspiracy rabbit hole and being like, hey, why wasn't he protected better than this? What happened here? What happened there? I don't blame her for any of that whatsoever. What I blame her for is the finger pointing. I've been very consistent on this from day one. Very, very consistent. Okay. Candace Owens, it's okay for you to ask questions. What's not okay is for you to finger point and say TPUSA did it. Mormon
Right.
beat cults did it.
Exactly.
Israel did it. Ukraine did it. France did it. Trump did it. The FBI did it. Justin Bieber's handler did it. Britney
The
Spears,
planet,
whichever one,
the
same
earth,
person apparently, maybe. I
all
don't
of
even know if they're the same
humanity.
person, to be honest. Calvary Church did it. What's his name did it?
Australia,
Rob McCoy, and all them.
the UK.
Just pointing fingers, to the point where she's gotten to Border Patrol, and Charlie Kirk's head of security is now guilty of taking his life. That's what she said. Harpole, what's his first name? Brian Harpole, Charlie Kirk's security. She said he is now in on it.
You can't make
It
this
gets crazier and crazier, the amount of people she points the finger at. It's very, very messy. And it's supposed to be messy, I think. I genuinely think it's supposed to be messy. I'm not sure why she's doing it per se. I don't know if it's to get money. I don't know if it's to destroy Charlie Kirk's legacy. I don't know if it's just to hurt Charlie Kirk's wife. I have no
Me too, the
idea
little
specifically why she's doing
very
it.
jealous of
Is there a
her.
chance she could be correct that something happened? Yes. But
Yeah.
is there a chance that every single person she's pointed the finger at is involved? Absolutely not. No, there's not even a
Exactly.
chance. Sorry, at this point in
Let's not forget, Candace Owens is very, very jealous and envious of Erica Kirk. She wants what Erica Kirk had. She wanted Charlie. She wants to be the CEO of Turning Point. She wanted Charlie to just bend to her will. Think about it. Her so-called friendship, relationship in her mind, deep-seated love for Charlie Kirk she had was for years. Years. Just because you get married doesn't mean it goes away. Candace never really worked on that. So she just allowed this love to blossom in her mind, in her alternate reality. Candace is like the woman that, from The Hand That Rocked the Cradle. Or Basic Instincts. Yeah. Candace, if we ever see you boiling a rabbit head in your pot, I'm calling the authorities myself, and I'm gonna have you lock your ass up. Get the kids out the house. George is just sitting up there, just boys club is just smoking a cigar and still not eating a sandwich. I guess he's just letting all this happen, doing nothing about it.
time, it's literally everybody but the crazy trans underground people who have been shooting up churches. It's anybody but those guys now. And that's wild to me because those guys literally went in there and shot up churches. I don't know. I'd say the people who probably have a history of shooting people are probably the most likely people to do it, especially when they've been caught at the crime scene. But what am I to know? It was definitely France, Israel, Palestine, or not Palestine, Egypt, and Ukraine. Those countries were way more likely to do it than the people going to our local churches and blowing them up. You know what I mean? Like, wow. It's just Occam's razor works for a reason. Simplest solution is usually the one that, happens.
Is he doing
The simplest explanation is typically the real explanation. And yet Candace has gone so far away from that to the point where I can't possibly even get on board with her. The finger pointing has got to stop, Candace. You're going to lose your audience here very, very soon. Nobody wants to see you attack a grieving widow when there's absolutely no evidence she was in on it whatsoever. She's already said that Erica's unfit for being CEO. And then on top of that was also, said, if Erica asked me to stop doing this investigation, I'll stop, and then completely lied about that. And now she's putting her on blast saying, well, Erica has nothing but time. She's got nothing but time to address all this stuff, and she doesn't do it. It's like, yeah, well, so do you, Candace, and yet you're not going to go do it. You have nothing but time to go to debate these people at TPUSA headquarters. You could do that.
on Monday?
You have plenty of time. All the way up to 24 hours before, you still have plenty of time to fly there and get everything set up. But you won't, because they'll call you out, and you have no defense. It's pathetic to see. And right now, you've managed to gain a lot of people and gain a lot of money. Maybe this is her ultimate retirement plan, because I think she knows that before this trial even starts at this point in time, she's probably going to have her audience leave her. She's already facing massive, massive, massive struggles right now, but
I'm gonna tell you something right now. This cult of personality, they're loyal. They're brainwashed. It's like brain rot. Like Charlie said, brain rot. They forget Charlie Kirk said brain rot. They forget Charlie Kirk described people like Candace Owens who think like Candace Owens as brain rot. But nothing that she says can really get them to kind of just unfollow and leave her in mass. No. They'll just make excuses for her as they go along. That's what cults do. Once you get to the point where they're just kind of embedded in it, they take that to the grave with them. That's why you start hearing these cult leaders saying things like, oh, the rapture's coming. Oh, it's the end of the world. It'll be the end of us. We should all go together. Kind of like what Jim Jones did. And you have people that would be willing to go to the end of life with her. That's how dangerous it is. They'll just make excuses for her. It'll be tapped out of reality and no one, will give two craps about what they feel and think about it, but that's what they'll do. And then bots are bots. I mean, it is what it is with that. But that's the danger in this. Innocent people being brought down into this because you have other people that don't care, that are too busy trying to get people brainwashed into just believing her, but won't tell her to tell us who the shooter is after 4 months.
Go ahead and read some of these comments here too. I'm
They
just
just
curious.
make
Look at
excuses.
wow. Yeah, there's that. Candace level crazy. Candace Owens, we'll get there. Charlie never betrayed Candace. Candace is doing what Charlie asked her to do. Be David. Well, let's see.
How's your relationship with Candace Owens nowadays?
She's a great friend. Look, I don't agree with everything Candace says, but you know what I don't do? I don't stop being friends with people just because people morally blackmail me. I don't do that, and you shouldn't either. I have different views on things as Candace. I have different views on Israel than Candace. I have different views on a lot of geopolitics. But honestly, I traveled the country with Candace. I went to her wedding. I saw her meet her husband. I went to Israel with Candace, which is a fun story I'll tell you at some point. But what I don't like is when people demand, you must stop being friends with somebody. Whoa, whoa, whoa. That's a left-wing tactic.
Also interesting because that's what the question that he asked. He said, how's your relationship with Candace? And then he's going on a kind of a bit of a rant of, well, she's my friend and I don't stop being friends with people. I don't think that's what he really asked. But that, that's to each their own. I can understand him misunderstanding for sure. Now, they're calling him shillcast, something to do with Jews. It's unbelievable. I don't even believe it anymore at all because of how many people have accused me of making money from Israel when I only make money from YouTube, not algorithm, ads, YouTube AdSense, super chats every now and then my factory job. That's what I do. I put in a lot of work. I've never made money before November on YouTube. I've never made real money like that, except for one time I got a sponsor a long time ago named Melaleuca. And I didn't like the way that you had to unsubscribe from them by sending them a letter. So I was like, I'm not going to, at all advertise you to my audience anymore. So I did that. They paid me $500. That was it. That's the only real money I've ever made from YouTube before that. Now, I'm starting to make real money from YouTube. I'm growing. That's nice. Maybe one day I'll be able to quit my factory job for it. But that's how I make my money. And when people are sitting there accusing me of making dirty money, it makes me very, very angry, believe it or not. I don't like that because I work very hard and honest my entire life. I have done nothing but go from job to job and work my rear end off. And then for people to tell me that because I spoke up against something that was clearly questionable, I'm making money from Israel now. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. It makes me so furious. And now when people are accusing Tim of it, I'm like, well, then clearly it's not real. Clearly it's not real. Maybe you guys, if you all were to cool off and be not so extreme, maybe I would have been on your side. But tough, Anyway, so they're saying Tim Pool claims of shots fired at his house can't be substantiated. Cops say this was a dead-on lie. That guy called the wrong. I already covered the video yesterday. Tim Pool, they called the wrong sheriff's office. The people who tried to fact check. We got the real sheriff's office. Cam Higbee showed it and he recorded it and we put it online. So this is ridiculous. This guy, where have you been? The person who claimed it was fabricated retracted their claim. Exactly. They got it wrong. I am so tired of seeing all the misinformation and people not.
There's misinformation, the misleading, the deception, the hypocrisy. All of that still comes down to the definition of the word lie. We pulled it up yesterday. All the synonyms and terms that are used interchangeably with lie or lying. They don't care about telling any truth. They lie because they produce zero evidence. They don't produce any evidence. Because Candace said so, or your opinion does not make it truth or fact. And she doesn't care. Candace is doing this as a PR. This is public relations. That's why her bots and her cult members keep saying, oh, everyone else is getting paid because they're trying to put us on a level with her. No, I'm still waiting on this $7,000 an hour check. Apparently, they want me to get this money so bad. But the funny thing is, the cult members don't leave supers in my chat. It would be different if they drop in the super saying, on behalf of Israel, we'll go ahead and send you some money later. Look, we'll drop a super. They don't even do that. But they're worried about other people getting paid. Never mind the fact that actual cult member is racking it in, and it's on her analytics channel, on her analytics page, on her YouTube channel. That's available to the public, just like the rest of our YouTube channel's analytics pages. So you could calculate 10 cents per 1,000 views. That's not including her supers. That's not including the money she get from the book club, her memberships, or whatever else she has. That's just based on views, likes, and the engagement and her subs. And they want to say, we're getting paid $7,000. And I'm sitting here wondering, when is the money coming? When is that happening? Never mind the fact they have not proven that someone has been paid $7,000. That's why I don't entertain the dumb cult members with that. I don't entertain them with that. Cult members and bots, they copy and paste the same thing over and over and over and over again. So if you are a content creator, shout out to Artie Trolls. They're going to say that either way. No matter how many times you say, I said I have a regular job. Everybody knows I have a regular job. And cult members and bots, nor Candace Owens, pay my bills either. I have a regular job. Somehow I'm getting $7,000. If I'm getting $7,000 per episode, and I'm live streaming every day, don't you think I would be doing this full time? They don't even use the common sense God gave a Billy Goat. And per episode for me is cheap because I do research. Candace doesn't. She does nothing. She reads her tip line. She refuses to vet. $7,000 an hour seems more right to me, but not per episode. But yet, they won't show any proof or evidence of any transactions where Israel has paid content creators. Proof of a money order, check, a Zelle, or something. Where some content creator has been paid $7,000. A valid receipt or proof of transaction. Not a phishing email scam that sounds like something from some African prince that's about to get an inheritance. Because they don't realize what a phishing scam is either. Basic stuff. I can obliterate them on every angle. But one thing you don't start doing is don't entertain the trolls and the buffoonery. They're going to think what they want to think. They're going to make up excuses for her until kingdom comes. There's nothing you can say or do to change their minds. Don't do it. They come into my chat at their own peril. They come in and they actually debunk Candace with that. And it's mighty funny. They want to accuse somebody of paying me. They don't give me a dime here. It's funny. I'm not even asking, but I'm just saying. You're going to see him make a complaint about somebody paying me some money, and you can't prove that any other content creator has been paid $7,000 per episode. Then why don't you leave me a 20 super? I'm just saying to the cult members. They'll drop their whole paycheck on Candace Owens, and she's got 244 million. 245 million. Maximum. Between her and Georgie. And they'll still give her their entire check. Cult of personality. That's what cults do. They give up their assets, their money, their savings, their homes, their properties to their cult leader. For the cult leader to live lavish and rich as hell. And then want to accuse content creators of being paid by Israel with no evidence or proof. And they have the audacity to put that in chats where you can screenshot it and use it as evidence if you wanted to. Like, of course, they're not smart. They're stupid. That's why I say you coming in my chat at your own peril. Now, do you all see why I give a disclaimer? They have no idea. The cult members in the bots, of course, they have no idea.
Not paying attention to what's really going on around them. That's the real issue here. But tell me what you guys think about this whole entire situation. You know, obviously these people coming after Tim Pool all fire off towards, oh, you're getting paid by Israel. Well, I don't think he is, because you guys have accused me of that. A guy with 20,000 subs making $7,000 a post. Guys, if I were making $7,000 a post,
$7,000.
I'd have a lot more views because I could put it back into the channel. Really? 3 videos a day I make. That'd be over the $21,000 I make in a day, every day? You think I'd be at 20,000 subscribers? I could buy bots to inflate it and make it look so much better and have more people come in. Really? That kind of money. You think I couldn't advertise this out and get more people to my channel with that kind of money? That's insane. Absolutely insane. Israel hasn't paid me a dime. Hey, they haven't paid me a penny. They haven't paid me a tenth of a penny. I've never received money from a foreign country in my life, ever.
Artie, don't even try to argue with dumb cult members and bots. That's their job, is to spread that misinformation. Why they still fail to produce evidence to show that anyone has gotten paid. It's not just you, buddy. They do it to all of us. While their cult leader and someone they compare to Jesus Christ is racking in hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars on her channel, and then they go out and brag how she gets nothing but views, likes, clicks, and money and subs. And then she's sitting here saying, that's not what I'm doing it for. They go out and they literally debunk it. They can't provide evidence on this. Like I said, when is his money coming and how is it coming? What's the payment method again? Is it a wire transfer? What should I be expecting? Where's Boys Club? What the hell is George?
Ever. And I've never received dirty money in my life, ever. Not a day. I told you the sources where I get paid. That's the truth. YouTube AdSense, some super chats, my factory job. That's it. Try and take that out of context. Try to piece that together like I'm making money from somewhere else. I don't. So anyway, guys, tell me what y'all think.
Yeah, they'll just lie and say it either way. Shout out to Arden. I get his frustration, but I've been on YouTube for 5 years with 2 channels. Bots are bots. Cult members are going to be cult members. Whether it's for Candace Owens or Umar Johnson, it's a cult. And they're going to say whatever. So, since Candace is apparently not going live today, I guess she's not at 6:34 Eastern Standard Time, and there's nothing going on there. I really want to see these Gray Hughes investigations. Oh, we're finally going to get to it, thank God. So, if I can get one of the mods to drop the Gray Hughes Investigates YouTube channel in the chat, you can see Gunn, Charlie Kirk shooter, because these cases, these hearings are about to start going in the court. They've already had a motion hearing on 2 of the motions, and to establish a violation of the standing order for decorum of the court, because thunk-headed press members going in and live streaming things they shouldn't be doing because they don't believe that I guess that they're supposed to abide by laws either. I mean, you know, because reasons. So that happened this week, and since these cases, the hearings are about to start picking up, let's go ahead and check out these 2 videos. There's 2 videos that I saw regarding Charlie Kirk and a gun, and then the second one is a rifle found in this. They got some images and stuff up. So put a 1 in the chat when you can see it here, because I've been trying to get this in for a couple of weeks. Hold on, what's going on? It's stalling. Hold on a second. What is going on? Okay. Sorry about that. All right, I'm back. Pause. All right. I don't know what just happened. It just kind of kicked me out. All right, cool. Let's get back to it. So this is Gray Hughes Investigates, and there are 2 videos. The shooter and the gun, and the next one is going to be this, with the image of the rifle itself. All right, let's get to it.
Hello, this is Gray Hughes of Gray Hughes Investigates on YouTube. Please hit that like button, share the video, and subscribe. Today's video is going to be about, did he have a gun when he jumped off the roof? And did he have the gun in his pants while he was walking in the surveillance footage here? And yes, he does. He has the gun in his pants. It's just past his knee. He's able to bend his knee slightly. It's not like it's completely stiff, like he's, has to swing the leg. It's just keeping the movement pretty restricted because he's got the gun in his pants. So we have this TMZ video. Another thing I just wanted to bring up really quickly is this New York Post article right here, where it says Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson lived with transgender partner. And it's actually a Fox News source, Brooke Singman. Charlie Kirk's alleged assassin Tyler Robinson was living with a transgender partner who was in the process of transitioning from male to female. A law enforcement source confirmed to the Post Saturday. That individual, who has yet to be publicly identified by authorities, is now fully cooperating with the FBI on its investigation into the fatal shooting of the conservative activist. And so that sort of verifies that this is absolutely politically motivated. This is what people had suspected from the beginning. If this is a true source here, this is definitely, it's in the New York Post and Fox News apparently reported. So we click on that link and it says exclusive. Charlie Kirk's assassin Tyler Robinson lived with transgender partner, sources tell me. The individual, who is a male transitioning to female, is fully cooperating. Sources tell me the FBI had texts and other communications between Robinson and the individual that helped FBI authorities solidify that Robinson was indeed the shooter. So that's something that I was wondering. Why would the shooter communicate with his roommate so openly about what he did unless that roommate was part of a conversation prior? I mean, he was talking about like, oh yeah, I threw the gun.
Where did you get this video footage from? This is a doorbell image of some sort. Anyone know whose video footage? Where's this video footage come from? About the disciple. What? See, she thinks she's God. Candace thinks she's Jesus Christ. You can't make this up. Like a ring cam from my house by college. Okay. I don't want to know whose house it is because these poor people have been doxxed enough, I'm sure. We don't have to like find out who they are. I don't need to know that. I just wanted to see where he got this from. Got it.
But the ditch point or whatever the hell the term was, he threw it in the woods over there, and then he needs to go out and monitor if anybody's found it yet, and all kinds of different communications. So I'm sort of wondering if this roommate had a little bit more knowledge to what was going on, almost as if it was continuing a conversation. I guess I'd have to see the text messages to realize that, but obviously the roommate isn't the shooter, but maybe they were part of some other aspect of it or helped gin up the sentiment of the shooter towards killing Charlie Kirk. We know that the media has absolutely been complicit in portraying conservatives or people with conservative values as like Hitler or fascist, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And so you might get through to somebody who's not there completely or just some radical who believes that they'll be saving mankind by killing a conservative. And I think that's absolutely disgusting. So if the left media and the left politicians, and it's not the far left, it's the mainstream politicians, need to stop calling conservatives fascists and like Hitler. You guys are what are creating these killers, and we see it rising more and more. It just seems like on a weekly basis now. It's disgusting. Quit doing it. All right, so now let's move on to the portion of the video, which is regarding, was he carrying something? All right, so let's watch this part again. Here is the nut job walking.
Okay.
Tyler Robinson. He's walking and he's limping. And the reason he's limping is because there's a gun in there in his pant leg. Now, I think it might be going down the back of his leg. And in fact, I'm almost certain.
Hey, Caleb, Manny accidentally deleted a couple of your comments by mistake. I think he said he fell asleep. So just repost your comments up if you don't mind. This is how much we don't want anyone to think that, comments are just being deleted like that. It was an accident. Pure accident. So repost your comments if you can, Caleb. Thank you so much. I apologize for that. He fell asleep. He emailed me too. So my apologies for that. But repost your comments up. Feel free to do that.
And it's probably just past where his knee bends. All right. So he struggles to bend it, but he does bend his knee. All right. So let's just watch. I mean, we can do it in slow motion. Let's do it. Let's pause it and slow it down. Watch. See, his right leg is where the weapon would be, and it bends. It's just not bending as anywhere near what his left leg can do. See that right there? That's probably like the maximum bend. So you can't lift it out the ground very high. And notice he doesn't swing it very far forward because the barrel of the gun is against his butt, and that creates a barrier where his leg can't swing forward. His thigh can't move forward where he can then swing his leg out further, so it's like he has to stop, plant it, and then move forward. And that's exactly what's happening here. Notice how right here, let's just watch it like this. Let's back it up. Look at his left leg, how it swings out and then he plants. His right leg has to stop moving right there. See that? And then he plants it because he can't swing it any further. It's being constricted by a gun behind his leg. And I would imagine that the barrel of the gun is going down the leg and the butt is up above, and the backpack is sort of hiding the fact that it would be sort of bulging out the back of his shirt. All right. So we have that. And then after that, we have him moving through the building. And we have this shot right here. That right there is his cell phone. And notice how he's still having to use his left leg to make it down each step. But all he has to do now is plant the left leg there and then slide the right leg down to the next step and let himself down. It's absolutely how you would do it if you had a cast on or something like that. It would be the same way. You just let yourself down the stairs. Now, there's questions out there that people ask. I mean, if I had $1 for every time somebody goes, "Where's the gun, Gray? Where's the gun?" They just keep over and over and over, and they keep telling me that he didn't break it down. I agree with you. He didn't break down a rifle. I was just speculating. I didn't say he definitely broke something down. I'm just saying that I think that he, I thought maybe he broke down the rifle, but he definitely has a rifle with him. And we'll go over that here in a minute. So someone else commented, "So why is there a camera in the tunnel? Who took that photo? No cameras in that tunnel." It just gets really old after a while. Everything isn't a conspiracy.
I mean, how would they know that?
Obviously, there's a surveillance camera.
This is comment in the comment.
These images here have been cropped out. That's why they have this shape. All right. The actual image would probably go way out like this. And then over here, you'd see the right side of this and everything.
Great. You try to explain that to cult members and bots, you'll be doing that all day.
And they obviously put cameras in locations where people can get into the university from outside. All right. So he goes down. He's got a pair of glasses on and a hat, and that's usually enough to hide your identity. All right. He's got on the requisite stuff, and he's going into the university. All right. So from above, let's go back out here. He's right over in this spot right here. This is where the tunnel is. So on the surveillance camera, you see him walking from right here. This is the house with the camera. He walks this direction. And in the probable cause, it makes it sound like he kind of goes, maybe he walks up here and then down, or they might be referring to this. And like he goes south through this grass here and then goes through this tunnel. And then we have various shots of him inside the building. I wouldn't be surprised if this is right after he goes down the tunnel. Then we have him going up some stairs here. I don't know. I think this is just a light colored patch on his pants and his leg still kind of trailing behind. This is his left leg that's lifting him up onto each of the steps. Here he is again. And then when you look at that, it looks like the back of that pant leg is kind of sticking out a little bit.
Here's my question. Here's my question. If you're going to put a gun in your pants, right? Why would you wear pants with open ends at the bottom? I'm just asking here. Y'all see the pants towards, as you go towards the bottom, towards the bottom of the pants leg itself. Wouldn't you have that more tied up or restricted so that, you don't have to walk around like you got a cast on? Because you don't have to worry about that sliding out or sliding down and being revealed. Why not sweatpants? I mean, he's already got on long pants and a long sleeve shirt. I don't understand. Why not sweatpants? That way you don't have to worry about any portion of the gun. Or some pants where you can pull the pants leg at the bottom tight and restrict anything from seeping out. It's hard for me to see what he's trying, to actually see the image of the weapon. Maybe they're going to do some sort of a fine-tuned imaging for the jury. But I'm not seeing the imprint. That's just me. I'm not able to see this imprint here. Maybe if you all are able to see it and you can do an outline of it or something like that, let me know. But I'm not seeing this imprint. That's all I'm saying. It's so I wish it was more close up. Let me say that.
Tell from that angle. Very clear picture though. And then we look at this photo. Now this one here is one that's interesting to me because here's the right leg, and see how there's something kind of sticking out back here, that little sort of dimple poking out.
If there was an
Oh,
outline,
that's sort of like
it
the
would
sight
be
at the
easier
end
to
of
see.
the barrel, something like that. But it's definitely down the back of his leg here, and he's just using, and I think it's just the barrel down his legs, and then maybe it goes underneath there. That's his backpack hanging down. So it's definitely hiding the fact that there's something underneath there. And I think the scope is inside of the backpack. All right. So I think you can actually there is some evidence here that he's got that item in his pants here. And we know it's in his pants because he hasn't taken the gun out yet, or you'd see it in this video. He comes up at a certain point. I think it's 12:15 that he shows up right here. So it's not really that far. So from right here, he got to there. And, he got in that position probably in about 15 or 20 minutes. Let's take a look at this. It says at 12:02 hours, the suspect was recorded walking on the north side of the.
Hold on, I want to see more images of him with the weapon. Oh, look at that.
And it zooms in on itself. So there you go. So this part's interesting. Let's just do this frame by frame.
Why aren't you showing something of him being on the roof? Here it is. What do you think is in his hand? He's on the roof. Now, what they probably will be able to show the jury are better close-up images from cameras that are nearby on that roof. But, I mean, you want to see him on the roof.
It was right back there, right in this corner when he shot Kirk, and then now he's running away from the scene, and he's got a rifle. What he did was he wrapped the gun in a black towel right before he was running. So let's just play that little last part again. And, it zooms in on itself. So there you go. So this part's interesting. Let's just do this frame by frame. You'll see it.
Look at that.
Y'all
wanted to see him with the gun. There you go.
Make this smaller. Kind of zoom in about like this is pretty good. So look, right there. He's got the gun.
He's got the gun right there.
Right here, the gun and the towel wrapped up. Now, people say, look how small it is, but it isn't. See, the camera angle here is probably, I guess if we go up into the sky here and take a look at Google Earth, we can get the camera angle. So the camera is right here, and the angle is right there. See that? So I would say that is probably
yellow points. Man,
like 20 degrees, 20-something degrees.
They wanted to see the gun. There you go. You got
building.
it.
So unless he's holding the gun perpendicular.
I couldn't see it in his pants, but did y'all see the gun? He had the gun in his hand, the black towel on the roof. Y'all got it? Because here it is. We're seeing it right now. I can't zoom in. This isn't my video. This is the closest I can get. He, being the presenter, he would have to be the one to zoom into that video. I can't zoom in it. I'm just watching a video. But he did zoom in, and he's showing you all the distance from the camera to where Tyler Robinson was. And you see it clear. He is got that gun in his hand. I saw the tip of the rifle and everything underneath the actual black towel. He shows it. This is something that's been available to the public for how long? Why isn't Candace showing this video? Why isn't she showing this video? Here's my question. This is on a YouTube channel on social media, available to the public. Candace, you heifer. This is why people say you're lying by omission. Why don't you show this video to your audience? Here's the video of the boy running on the roof with the gun in his hand. And yet Candace can't tell us who any other shooter is that had a gun in their hand at all. Because once again, Candace, who's the shooter if it's not him? If he's not the shooter, who is? You say he didn't pull the trigger, but he's got the damn gun in his hand. So who pulled the trigger? Why aren't you showing videos of that? Because Gray Hughes got videos of Tyler Robinson running on the roof with the gun. But Candace can't get videos of this so-called shooter she believes it to be with the gun. Perhaps they got off that Egyptian plane and they was just trying to catch their flight.
Kirk, and
Can't
then
make
now
this
he's
up.
running away from the scene, and he's got a rifle. What he did was he wrapped the gun in a black towel as right before he was running. So let's just play that little last part again. And, you know, it zooms in on itself. So there you go. So this part's interesting. Let's just do this frame by frame. You'll see it.
Yeah, see?
All right, I hope you guys can see this well. I'm going to make this smaller, kind of zoom in about like, I think about like this is pretty good.
Well, I think I can get a better freeze.
All right, I hope you guys can see this well. I'm going to make this smaller, kind of zoom in about like, I think about like this is pretty good. So look, right there, he's got the gun. Right here, the gun
black
and
towel
the
right
towel
there.
wrapped up.
Gun
Now
right
people
there.
say, look how small it is, but it isn't. See, the camera angle here is probably, I guess if we go up into the sky here
So
and
you
take a look
have
at
him
Google
with
Earth,
the gun in his
we can
hand
get the camera angle.
on the roof after pulling the trigger.
So the camera is right here and the angle is right
And he
there. See
started
that?
another video.
So I would say that that is probably
That's
like
the
20
distance of the
degrees,
camera
20 something
from
degrees
the shooter.
to the,
So he goes back to this.
if you look at the, you know, back to this again, see, it's not perpendicular. And so even if it's at the
Look at
same
that.
angle as the roof, the gun's going to appear.
Y'all see that? The gun right there. He's got it right there. Y'all see my green arrow? Circling it right there with the black towel. Now, Candace, you show us who you think the shooter is that has a gun in their hand running from anywhere where they shot the gun as well. Give us an alternative, Candace. You heifer. Give us an alternative. Candace, you tell us who your shooter is. Because right now, she won't play this video on her channel. Candace ain't trying to show this. But she claims that he didn't pull the trigger, but won't tell us who did. Tell us who pulled the trigger. Asking me if I buy a narrative is dumb. But, you know, cult members and bots are stupid either way. But asking me if I buy a narrative, this is not a narrative. This is called video evidence that will be shown to the jury. And the resolution will be much higher and greater. But you have a video like this that's out here on the internet, on YouTube, available to the public for anyone to watch. And she won't show this video on her channel because it doesn't fit her point. You know, her PR stunt she pulling off. So when is Candace going to show us a video of someone else on that roof with a gun that is not Tyler Robinson? When is that going to happen? Asking us if we buy anything is irrelevant. It's a dumb question. Just show us a video of who you think that alternative shooter is. Candace. What are cult members? Or somebody. Just show us the video. That's it. No explanations needed. Just show us the content. Show us the evidence. You can't make this up. No reply says the gun is only like 45 inches long. It's not really that long in the barrel. It's really skinny. Show us video evidence of the other shooter with the gun. Give it to us. Give us the evidence. Show us the video. The video of the other shooter. Tell us who the other shooter is. We're not trying to force you all to believe in Tyler Robinson. We're saying this video will be shown to the jury, whether you like it or not. How you feel about it is irrelevant. But if you don't believe it's him, then show us the other shooter with the gun. That's all I'm saying. Just show us the video of the other. All that other stuff they say is dumb. Show us the video footage of the actual shooter that you believe it to be with the gun. Show us the video footage of him firing a gun. whoever that other shooter is in your alternate reality, show us that video footage. Gotta be. You can't be jealous of what makes no sense whatsoever. Exactly. They beat around the bush. Well, the candy ass cult members and the bots, they beat around the bush, but they still won't show us. Okay, here's a video of the other shooter. Like, it's that simple. Show us a video of the other shooter. That's what we're asking for. Just show us. Show us the video. How you all? No one should be saying you should not be saying you seen something and now it's not available. You should have recorded that, because wouldn't that prove your case? How that video is gone. Send the channel where it's gone so I can see if it's been taken down. What's the name of the YouTube channel you saw it on? What link? Tell me where you saw that so I can go see if it's still up. I'm just saying. The candy ass cult members and the bots believe that, and Candace Owens do not believe that Tyler Robinson pulled the trigger, and they do not believe he's the shooter. So after 4 months of her blabbing on about this, then she should be telling us who the shooter is. They should be showing us video evidence of the other shooter. Asking who shot Charlie Kirk after 4 months when she's supposed to be figuring that out is a moot point. Now it's moot. She's been asked the same question for 4 months. That means she's doing nothing. Either that, or she should be telling us who the shooter is and showing us video evidence of this person firing a weapon. Because they don't believe with their own eyes what they're seeing here. This is Tyler Robinson with the gun on the roof after he fired the shot. Candace Owens and her cult members believe someone else did it. None of this is real to them and alternate reality. Okay. So my question to them is, because I don't try to convince cult members of a damn thing. Show us video evidence of the other shooter. Because after 4 months, they should be very close to telling us who that is. They should be able to show us by now who the other shooter is. Give us a name and a photo of that other shooter so we can make sure the bad guy gets locked up. They talking about this is a narrative. This is a video. This is video evidence. This isn't a narrative. This is not a story. This is real video footage. And here, in this reality here on Earth, this video footage is going to be shown to the jury in that investigation that Candace Owens does not care about. So if she's going to say he's not the shooter and he's running around on the roof with the gun, his fingerprints on the gunshot residue test on his fingers are going to match the gun and the bullets and the gunpowder, all this stuff, then she should be telling us who this other shooter is if she doesn't believe that he's the shooter, Tyler Robinson is. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at Tyler Robinson. Then they should be telling us who the shooter is, a photo, and showing us video evidence of this other person shooting a gun and shooting Charlie Kirk. That's what we want to see now. We want to see the evidence that Candace Owens obviously has obtained after 4 months of her PR stunt. Asking questions is getting futile. At some point, Candace, you got to start producing some answers yourself. Because otherwise, why call yourself an investigative anything if you can't seem to answer your own questions? You can't present any evidence at all. I mean, anyone can get in a video and just ask questions for 4 months straight. But if you're saying you're investigating something, because impersonation, you are gathering evidence yourself, and you should be answering some of these questions. So somehow she's not able to do any of that, but she doesn't buy this. This video is not real to her. And her cult. This doesn't exist to them. Fine. Then tell us who the shooter is and show us the video evidence.
Here shorter, but let's say it's slightly counterclockwise to parallel to the edge of the roof. it's going to look shorter. But you see him right here put a towel and something sort of heavy in the towel on the ground,
Those who
right?
the shooter is.
Now he's still holding that with his left hand. He puts his left leg on a ledge and his right leg still up on there. And he lowers his left leg even further. And it looks like he sort of steps down first, maybe his right leg kind of hits first on that ledge. And he reaches up with his right hand. And look at right there, you guys. Can't you see it? I mean, that's the gun. Look. That's not his arm or anything. Look, he's grabbing the gun and it sort of swings up there. That's the gun. And it's in his hand now. This is the gun right here. You can see how long it is.
He literally showed video footage of Tyler Robinson going upstairs to the roof.
On his pants and his leg still kind of trailing behind.
There's his face. I'm sorry, was he supposed to take his shades off for you? There you go. You realize he's touching on stuff with his hands, right? Fingerprints. Because DNA is a thing here in this reality on Earth. They can get DNA fingerprinting and match it to his fingerprints. So everything he touched, they're going to get the fingerprinting done, do an analysis. And when he was booked in jail, guess what they did? They took fingerprints. And they do an analysis of the fingerprints. That is one way to ID someone when it comes to criminal matters like this. If you don't understand how criminal court works or investigations work or how this trial is going to proceed with certain types of evidence, you might want to look up facial recognition, DNA testing, fingerprinting, gunshot residue test, all these things that can not only help identify who the person is, but certain objects and certain doors, stairway cases, things that they actually touched. They even do footprint. Can you believe it? So whatever you're saying you can't see with his face, they're IDing with his fingerprints because he's touching shit. You know, because that's how it works in the world of, science. See, when Candace is sitting here not understanding how criminal investigations work and how they even gather evidence, she's not giving out the full basic information to anyone. He's not wearing any gloves. Y'all see any gloves on his hands? Show me gloves. There's nothing scary about this. If you're a grown adult, let me know. I mean, if you're a kid, you probably shouldn't watch this. I don't know what to tell you. Exactly. Anybody see any gloves on his hand? Is he wearing gloves? Because this is a part of investigations. Does anyone see gloves on his hands? No gloves. So guess what? When he reaches, open up his hand and touches the staircase, guess what you're going to get? Fingerprints. Fingerprints is used to ID individuals. Guess what they're going to do with this face shot here? Facial recognition. They pixelate the images and then they match it up to his driver's license and other photos and images where he was taken, like going to Dairy Queen. He's left DNA behind. He's talking. Sometimes people spit. Maybe he's a spitter. He's touching everything. He's not wearing any gloves. Fingerprints everywhere. That helps to ID the individual. DNA. This is stuff we can all see here. So he go out and touch the staircase, touch the doors. He touched the gun. He touched the blanket. He touched the edge of the roof. He touched the stairway. Even the siding on the doors. Fingerprints all day long. He left a trail of DNA. You can't make this up. And they can use all of that to help gather scientific evidence to identify him, to corroborate what you're seeing in the videos. So everywhere he walked, if he touched something with his open hand, guess what? Those fingerprints is going to leave a trail. His footprints, same thing, leaving a trail. They don't just look at the video and go with that. If you understand how these criminal investigations gather evidence, then you understand that it's more than just the video. It's fingerprinting, it's footprints, it's facial recognition, DNA testing, gunshot residue testing. He fired a weapon. He's going to have gunshot residue on his hands, on his clothes, on that towel, in his bag. They do these tests to match everything up. That's how it works. And this is not something Candace Owens is going to tell her coach.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is right after he goes down the tunnel.
So people need to see his face. You can see him touching shit.
They put cameras in locations where people can get into the university from outside. All right. So he goes down.
So you see he touching the handrail right here in this photo here. DNA testing. If you don't believe that's his face, then believe that's his fingerprint. Because DNA does not lie. But Candace doesn't research this stuff. She doesn't know how this stuff works. The footprint. She doesn't care about that. She's like, oh, you can't see his face. You can see it. You can see his hands on the rail. So you can know that that's going to be a fingerprint they're going to collect. That's why they fingerprint you when they book you into jail. Standard processes that she could be explaining based on research, basic information she won't damn do because she wants people to be as ignorant as possible and not fully understand the full picture. Not fully understand all of the testing that can be done when they're gathering evidence. When CSI is collecting information and evidence from a crime scene. She has no idea how that works. So she just tells you all what you want to hear, as opposed to you all saying, let me Google what type of evidence is gathered for a criminal investigation like this. And she's not going to do it because it's not going to fit her dumb point. It's just not. I don't need to see his face because I know they're going to get his fingerprint off this damn rail. And stuff like that is remedial. Like it's minuscule comparison to DNA. So when you see all this going on the roof, he's not wearing any gloves either.
So there you go. So this part's interesting.
Nope.
Let's just do this frame by frame. You'll see it.
What are you trying to put on gloves?
All right. Hope you guys can see this well. I'm going to make this smaller, kind of zoom in about like this is pretty good. So look, right there. He's got the gun.
Yep.
Right here, the gun and the towel wrapped up. Now, people say, look how small it is, but it isn't. See, the camera angle here is probably, I guess if we go up into the sky here and take a look at Google Earth, we can get the camera angle.
His parents identified him. Thank you.
So the camera is right here, and the angle is right there. See that? So I would say that that is probably like 20 degrees, 20-something degrees to the building. So unless he's holding the gun perpendicular to the camera, you're not going to see how long it might be. I think he's holding it away from the camera so it looks shorter. So if you look at the back to this again, see, it's not perpendicular. And so even if it's at the same angle as the roof, the gun's going to appear shorter. But let's say it's slightly counterclockwise to parallel to the edge of the roof, it's going to look shorter. But you see him right here put a towel and something sort of heavy in the towel on the ground, right? Now he's still holding that with his left hand. He puts his left leg on a ledge and his right leg's still up on there. And he lowers his left leg even further.
Yeah, because he's leaving.
And it looks like he sort of steps down first. Maybe his right leg kind of hits first on that ledge, and he reaches up with his right hand. And look at right there, you guys. Can't you see it? I mean, that's the gun. Look, that's not his arm or anything. Look, he's grabbing the gun and it sort of swings up there. That's the gun, and it's in his hand now. This is the gun right here. You can see how long.
Tell us who the shooter is.
And then he swings it down, and again, there's the gun right there.
Good grief.
Swings it down. And then he
That's what I'm saying.
gets
See,
ready
but
to
she
jump,
never
and then he
watched
jumps
this
down and it's
stuff.
in his
Now,
hand.
Candace didn't show. When did Candace never show this video on her channel? Because she don't want her cult members to believe anything outside of what she tells them. Because to them, she's Jesus Christ. If this is a government plant, like stuff like this, is a government plant, who is the actual shooter in your world? That's what I'm asking. I'm not trying to convince them of anything. They can stay in La La Land for all I care. Just tell us who you believe the shooter is and show us the evidence on it. It's been 4 months. We're past the point of asking questions. This is the excuses they still make. That's what I said. I saw these the day it happened. Exactly. She didn't even show these. She could have showed these. 2.0, we need to make a candy clue game. Where is Waldo? The maroon beret, the maroon beret division. You can't make this up. You can make this up. Oh my good Lord. Smearing DNA all over the place. Sweat, skin cells, fingerprints. Exactly. Thank you. Thank you, Care Bears. There you go. I mean, it's science, people. It comes down to science. Footprints. Bonjour says she knows and sees these, but she feed her followers to believe in their lies for money. Exactly. She saw it, she just disregards it. Now she says it wasn't Tyler. No way that type of weapon was used. But she could say what she want, like, and that's the thing. Candace Owens is not even smart enough to realize that fingerprinting and DNA collection is a part of an investigation, especially this criminal investigation regarding a murder. So she doesn't even tell her audience, yeah, no, they're gonna collect his fingerprints, his footprints. You know, he's probably sweating and running and stuff, spitting everywhere. They're gonna collect all that DNA evidence, gunshot residue. They're gonna do all those tests and corroborate what's happening in the videos with the evidence, the DNA evidence that they collected from those actual points. So from the point where he shot the weapon, ran across the roof, trying to get down here, all that DNA he's leaving behind, they'll be able to create a trail with DNA. We know that it was him climbing down because he left 3 fingerprints and he had a hair that he left behind. So we were able to do DNA testing and it matched his hair type. He scraped his hand and he left some blood behind. So we did some DNA testing and it matched his blood type. You see, they're going to corroborate what they're seeing in the video to DNA evidence. But Candace is not smart enough to even research that information, so she doesn't know. Or maybe she knows, she doesn't care. Either way, she's not telling her code. She's not telling them that. They want truth, but when you get truth, they don't want to hear it because it's not what they want to hear. There's reasons. I'm not trying to change their mind on it. I just challenge them to give us video footage of whoever this other shooter is. Period. We're past asking questions. No one's asking anything. Candace, tell us who the shooter is, girl. You want to see him be in La La Land, your alternate reality? She must be bigly mad. Candace throwing a whole tantrum. She has not gone live today. You can't make this out. She pre-records her episodes and stuff. Oh, you can't make this up. This is priceless. But this goes in detail of what he did, trying to get down and all this other stuff, because he didn't want to go the other way for him to end up in the crowd. It's okay. Show us who the shooter is if it's not Tyler Robinson. To the code. Just tell us who the shooter is and show us the video evidence. Give us some DNA evidence. The same evidence that has to be collected for Tyler Robinson is the same evidence that Candace Owens and her coach should be collecting right now. Not still asking questions 4 months later and demanding everyone else tells them evidence. They don't want to believe or accept either way. It's stupid. Don't try to do that. Don't convince them of nothing. Let them go figure it out. And then tell them, show us the proof. Show us the money. Show me
Now
the
that's
money.
the gun right there. And watch, we'll just go forward. And right there, you can see it.
Show us the evidence.
It looks like it's, I don't know if that's the full gun right there, but you can see something changed in the image. He's dropping down. And as he's coming down, he hits the ground, and then his glasses apparently fall off. According to somebody
DNA.
in the chat, it looks about right, because right here he turns around, picks them up, and he's sort of struggling to hold the gun, get away, and put his glasses on his head at the same time. So look at him. He's now running with the rifle and the black towel, and there it is hanging behind him. So whenever you see something sort of dangling back there, that's the towel. Now that's easier to see, but it could be that you can't see oftentimes the barrel because the video is so pixelated and it's not very clear. But look right there. You see that? There's a line that goes down right there. I think that very well could be the actual barrel of the gun in that shot. And the thing is, this video is only like 3 to 5 frames a second, which is absolutely terrible. Video is normally 30 frames a second and allows you to go frame by frame. Now watch. So let's just stop on a frame and I'll count. So there's one where it stops, right? There it is. And then I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 frames over to the right is finally when there's another detected movement on this video. So that means the surveillance footage is not 30 frames a second. It's like 3 to 4, because then it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That time it was 6. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I mean, it's crazy. That's why it's sort of choppy looking. So now I'm holding it down. And you can see he's carrying something. And the thing is, it could be sort of facing towards us where we don't get to see the profile of how long it is. All right, so now I got to zoom out and see what this does, because they zoom in whenever they feel like it. Okay, so let's go into there. Now we can sort of watch this, and let's see if we can see anything. Yeah, I mean, okay, I think that's a great example right here. See, right here, he's got the gun wrapped in the black towel. He's not a lobster human with large pinchers at the end of his hands there, right? So you can see his hands probably in there, and he's holding the rifle there almost like a soldier would, just for just a brief moment as he's wrapping it up. All right, and then now you can see the loose towel around the end of it. He's really just trying to he's struggling with it. He's trying to get control of hiding the weapon with the black towel. So there it is, swinging behind him now. See that? Right there. I mean, you get these comments in here. Let's just show these. Watch. It's like, please tell me, where is the gun? Like someone else said he didn't have.
Stupid. They're asking dumb questions because they don't want to see, what's happening. Why they still can't tell us who they believe the shooter is.
At the end of the gun. All right, so let's keep going through this.
I've never known a cult to demand evidence from people that they don't want to accept, and that they can't show evidence themselves. It's so asinine. They have this entitlement, like they want people to prove something to them, knowing that they don't care what you show them or tell them. So why even have that expectation? This is what I mean by the copying and pasting of the same comments. This hive mentality. That's how they detect, deter, and deflect and distract from what's actually going on here. They distract and deflect from it. I don't do whataboutisms. This is why I don't care how they feel or what they think. Show us, tell us who the shooter is. No one owes them evidence. No one owes them anything. No one owes them an explanation. And no matter what you put out, they're not going to accept it. So it doesn't matter. I could care less what a cult member or bot thinks or feels. Bots don't feel or think anything. But I could care less about it. Because there's nothing you could tell them that they would be even merely convinced of. For what? When they can't show you evidence of the contrary. They want to say he's not the shooter, then tell us who the shooter is. Put that thinking cap on and tell us who the hell the shooter is. Do your little research and let us know who the shooter is. Everyone else tapped in this reality on Earth. We know. But don't bait into them. Don't bait into it. Make them do some work. And make them go out and do some research and then put up videos of the shooter, somebody running with a gun, and say, here's the shooter. Here's some DNA. Make them do the work. Otherwise, you can't tell them anything that they're going to accept. It's all about a cult.
So look at that right there. He's like, just come on. He's trying. He's really struggling with it. I mean, look right there. You see that? That's his right leg, left leg, and something really long right there wrapped in a towel.
Why is he struggling?
So right now it's near his left side. See right there? You can see it right here. There's the weapon. And then he goes around the corner. I hope you guys watch this and you just realize that he does have one. I don't want to keep hearing more like, well, Gray, what about? And it's just so obvious. You know, this is what I'm talking about. People want it to be a conspiracy. So this is interesting right here. You can see right there. That's the gun, I believe. One of these three objects is the gun. See, there's three different points there. Look, boom. And then, you know, I thought maybe that was the gun swung back, but I think that's his leg, and it's just pixelated because of the way it swings. Looks like right there he's in a sort of a running stance. His right leg looks really skinny too. And this right here is the gun wrapped in a black towel. All right, and then we keep moving. And, you know, various times you see three different elements there. So even in that little sort of blurry one right there, see how there's something right in there? And now he's got it close to him. He's got it under control now, and he needs to have it under control. Watch how differently he walks now. Now he's nice and calm. He's got everything under control, he thinks. And he's got it kind of, you know, wrapped up. And let's see, you always have to, all the zooming they did kind of screwed things up a little bit. But on the 360-degree camera, they do have to look around with it. So there he is. He's got it next to him. He's got it on more like his right side, it appears. And then he's going to make his way across that street. But he's being really calm. He's got his head down right now. He's just really, you know, he's panicking inside. He wants to get the hell out of there.
Yep.
All right. But I think it's really obvious, you guys. He has the gun.
Yeah, and to the average reasonable person here on Earth that, you know, have eyes to see and ears to hear, and we know how to read. Like I said, don't try to argue with or go back and forth or convince the cult members of anything. Just tell them to stop being lazy and tell us who the shooter is and to gather their evidence and their video footage. Tell them to gather their evidence, and then they can match it up against what, you know, we believe to be true. I mean, that's it. Either they're presenting something or they're not. Or they just copying and pasting comments. It's so crazy. This is shout out to Gray Hughes. That was good. I'm glad I saw this. I mean, he's, you know, just showing the I think the camera footage, the footage that they show in court to the jury is definitely going to be higher resolution because you want it to be clear. And like I said, as they explain what he's doing in the video, they're going to be able to show DNA evidence to support and corroborate it. The fingerprints, the footprints, gunshot residue. If he sweats, if he spit, if he cut his hand, if he hurt himself, he leaves blood behind. They will be able to get that DNA evidence. So it's not just the video alone. It would have DNA evidence to corroborate it. So that's how you can ensure that you're dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and DNA can identify the individual. Whether they can see a photo or not of the person is irrelevant when you can get fingerprints and DNA testing. If he cut his hand, because he had to scrape his hand a little bit and leave skin cells behind, that's DNA. They're going to do DNA testing. So, and I think, was that the only one I wanted to show? We got Artie. Oh, we did Artie. We got Ami, y'all. Y'all ready for some Ami?
Now, you know.
It's time to laugh. I'm excited. So, Ami did a new video. Candace Owens responds to Erica Kirk. This is funny. So, we're going to check out Ami. And then that is going to be all in this particular live for today. Candace did not go live, but, you know, I don't know why she's not flying her happy ass out there to Phoenix either. She don't want to tell nobody that to their face. You can't make this up. But we're going to check out Ami. And then I got to do a separate live on Umar tonight because he's still cutting up. And we got to get into that. And it gives me a brain break. So if those who can tune in for Umar, another cult leader, who's lying about, you know, opening up schools and buying stuff when he hasn't done any of those things, tune in. It's going to be fun. He's trying to so-called, you know, give psychiatry or psychological sessions that he's not licensed and certified to do. So let's get ready for some Ami. If I can get one of the mods to drop the YouTube channel link for Ami Kozak in the chat, that would be awesome. Put a 1 in the chat where you can see it here. Ah, man, let's get some laughter.
Now, you know, I made it very clear that there's only 2 people who would stop me from doing this. One would be my husband, and the other is Erica Kirk.
What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Okay, I don't know what people are taking from this. I know what I heard when I heard her say that. I heard her say, stum. People think she said stop. I didn't hear a P. I didn't hear a P at all. I heard her say stum, which is actually a Hebrew word, which is interesting. I find that interesting. She's using Zionist coded language. Now, the word stum, if you dig deeper, actually means just kidding. Just kidding. I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that. And I find it interesting that Erica's using Zionist coded language. Why she's using Hebrew? Why is she using that? I think we all know why. So she's saying stum, just kidding. Keep going, Candace. It's so obvious. It's so obvious, you guys. It's so obvious. It's so obvious. She's signaling to me that she wants me to continue. And if you think she actually said stop, how do we know that she wasn't just quoting stop in the name of love by the Supremes? Stop in the name of love before you break my heart. It's a song by the Supremes, which I find interesting. The Supremes. It's obviously about supremacy, okay? It's not a coincidence.
No, Candace can't sing nowhere near that. That girl can't sing to save her damn life. Nice job, Bobby. You can't make this up.
Coincidence that you would name a song "Stop in the Name of Love" by the Supremes. And if you dig deeper into the story, the Supremes were managed by none other than, you guessed it, Shelley Berger, aka Sheldon Berger, who was, we can't say it. Oh no. He was a Frankist. He was a Zionist. He was Jewish. You guys. Cancel Candace. Stop in the Name of Love, a song by the Supremes, which is about supremacy, which is run by, managed by Shelley Berger. That all just feels so fake and gay. It just feels fake and gay. She's either using Zionist coded language, stum, which means just kidding, so I should keep going. I should keep going. I should continue. Either that, or she's referring to stop in the name of love by the Supremes about supremacy. It's just, I'm sorry. I just think none of this is real. None of this is real. I don't know no, but I know no, you know? Incidentally, Charlie's last book that he came out with was called Stop in the Name of God. Stop in the name of God. It all makes sense. You guys, they think we're crazy. They think we're stupid. We're not going to fall for it, okay? Now, I want to thank all my mommy sleuths that are out there sending me tips. Keep sending me tips because I am not going to stop. And as Erica said clearly, very clearly, to Barry Weiss, of all people, when asked about me if I should stop, Erica responded, stum, just kidding. Or that simply saying stop is quoting the Supremes. And we all know what she means by that. Keep sending me tips, mommy sleuths. I'm every woman. It's only me. What, that's not the Supreme?
Shaka Khan.
That's Shaka Khan?
Yes, I love that song.
Is that about Brigitte?
Could be.
I'm coming out. I want the world to know. Got to let it show. I love that song. What's that song?
That's Diana Ross, darling. I love that song.
You love that too?
Oh, yes, very much.
Okay.
I'm going to go out for a bit. Meeting a friend.
Okay.
Did I beat that? Oh, I love that song. I'm coming out.
Now, you know, I made it very clear. Very
much.
Okay.
I'm going to go out for a bit. Meeting a friend.
Okay.
Boys Club, where the hell are you going? Oh, that's that bitch. Boys Club, when you going to address this allegation from a grown man that said you tried to essay him? When you going to address that? Candace, you want to explain that photo you took grabbing that woman's butt while you were pregnant? That's a real photo. We can make this up. Everything is fake and gay to them people. Everything is fake and gay to Boys Club and Candace, a.k.a. Bride of Chucky. You can't make this up. Oh my God. He said, oh, I'm going out for a minute. Oh, that's funny. He got a nice little singing voice. He can actually sing a little bit. Y'all, he went old school on us today. Oh my God, everything's fake and gay. He said, "Oh, I love that song. I'm going out for a minute. I'll be back." She said, "Okay." Oh, not one did he tell her, "Go make me a sandwich." I mean, if you're listening, can you please do a skit where Boys Club tells Candace to make him a sandwich? we're we're all waiting on that. Oh yeah, let's get the supers in and the memberships. Shout out to Heather Rose, Satiric. Oh, one of our brand new mods. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. You see the wrench is now next to your name. I've also added the Francisca and the S Files over to the second channel that I'm going to do a live for tonight after Umar. And that's just going to be the hangout channel where we're really going to gossip. Okay. So shout out to you gifting a membership out and becoming a member. Thank you so much. And you all shout out to Yuck 2.0 who gifted 5 memberships that you guys are going to be able to enjoy this weekend, because I'm going to be clipping these live streams up into shorter videos and they're going straight to the members only channel. And it will be for the members to enjoy. Thank you all so much for supporting me here in the Lady Luck Club. Words cannot express the support that you guys have provided here. I am very grateful for that. Hit the like button. I'm like Artie Troche. Just hit the like button. Leave your thoughts and comments. I'm sure the cult members are going to copy and paste, despite all the things that I've said where they could just present their evidence and stop trying to get everybody else to prove something to them, because we don't owe you shit. So they can just prove their case. They don't agree with it, fine. Show us who the shooter is. In your alternate reality, on whatever planet you and Candace Owens are on, tell us who the shooter is and show us your evidence. That's it. We can make these same demands of them. It's so funny. They hate it. All right, y'all. Thank y'all so much. And I'm going to get ready for Umar in an hour or so. And then we'll be on the second channel later on tonight and just chopping it up. So take care. Tune in if you can. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.